Tell God thank you, and it's the 13th of September 2020. We tell God thank you for life. We tell God thank you for all good things. We tell God thank you for everything, good or bad. We still say Papa God thank you because we don't get control of certain things when they happen. And it's to the divine maker, the almighty God, or whatever you call him, almighty Allah, whatever you call him. It is your own way of recognizing there is a supreme being greater than everything, the force that holds the universe together, that they make things, some of the things happen. There are things we get for do for ourselves, but there are things we cannot control. And life is one of the things we cannot control. So every day we get for be grateful. Every day we get for appreciate. Every day we get for give reverence to the Almighty God for life and tell and thank you. We give you another chance for come back again today on Social Media Review. As usual, Mina Fadima Savage, the host of Social Media Review. I get with we honorary professor, Professor Kutubu Koroma, and on the 11th of September, Professor celebrating birthday, but in the end, you know, he's turned 71. It's a blessing to live that long. It's a blessing to look the way they in good health. If something they had and save something in bone or old age stuff, but nothing else. He's of good health, sound mind. You know, we tell God thank you for Rambogo. Celebrate her in the end, at the end of the thing. And also again, me other co-host with me, Mr. Shilon. Mr. Shilon is a practicing defense attorney for over 40 years in the United States, licensed to practice law in North Carolina. Is a defense attorney, very good Sierra Leonean. We don't, you know, serve America and as well as he don't give back to Sierra Leone. And as we there, so this is a contribution for give back to Sierra Leone. We get issue that we'll get for talk about today. We get issue that we'll get for Rob Mott. But the biggest of all today, what will they ask now with Parliament? What thing they happen now with Parliament? We don't hear or the other way come out whether they claim say where they don't do a survey, they don't get information, they don't ask us. They say with Parliament that the second most corrupt institution as Salone. We get for Rob Mott for that. We get for also Rob Mott for the sal capping problem. We see the Parliament again, the same Parliament where they talk of. We see this week here, we see the Honorable Rado Soare, when a Minister of Information, go to Parliament, and we see that they go before the Committee of Transparency and Accountability, where we go put in case before Parliament. We see that there, and we see waiting pass. We will talk on that. We will play the video. Then UNASEF go be the judge. UNASEF go join the conversation. But again, like I say, you know, I go make me guess and tell Una do. We get for talk about Corona, and something happened in our country this week. We're very, very sad. With this coronavirus, we go up much panam. We go up much small where in the world is our president. Our president has been gone for 2 weeks. We know they get people they give you information or waiting there. We just go by propaganda and rumor on the media, waiting they happen. We don't know exactly waiting they happen to the president. So make I bring me guests there in, let them tell una adu, una share, una call una friends, una can join in the conversation because these are conversations that we have to talk about. We get for talk, and we get for talk. We will continue for talk. Like we say, if good things happen, we talk about good things, but bad things happen, we get for talk about the bad things. So now that's make we then our social media, waiting the people and they talk on our social media, waiting them group and they talk because we are all Sierra Leoneans. Whether you're there at the diaspora or whether you're there on the ground in Sierra Leone, we are all Sierra Leonean. There is nothing between us. We are Sierra Leonean and we care about Sierra Leonean issues. So I'll pass them to me, me co-host them, may them tell una adu, then let we continue with the show, let the show go on and let we talk about waiting them then at the social media this week. So Professor and Mr. Shilon, sir, una tell the people there.
Yeah, well, good evening, and we're glad for day again today for bringing a whole lot of issues them. We by God power all get for can discuss. Thank you.
Mr. Shilon, sir.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what part of the world you want a day. To me, Naya is shortly after 3 o'clock or going 4 p.m. So I want to say hello to everybody where they listen. And as usual, this is a show where they make its own contribution to the well-being and progressive nature of Sierra Leone. So we hope when I could join, listen, participate, be respectful, And at the end of it all, we'll probably go learn from each other. So I hope we'll get a wonderful time just on the show. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much to both of you. And as we all know, we did this pandemic. As we all know, we see what's in the happen at the world. Coronavirus is still alive. Coronavirus, they take people their life. And this week in Sierra Leone, according to the Minister of Information and Broadcasting and the team that were then put together for deal with this, the NACOVAC were then put together for deal with this corona, then come up with this results. Then say inside Salone right now, 72 people then don't die. Then they get 2,109 people them where they don't test positive for coronavirus. And this week they get 13 new cases. But something happened at Freetown where kind of sad to we the Sierra Leoneans. One of we big one them where na Sierra Leonean but we reside in Gambia, where they call Dr. Uris Owuduma Emmanuel Jones. 79-year-old man, almost 80 years in December for me, but they for be 80. Then kind of Freetown, then get some organization where then go celebrate, then diner club and all that stuff, then at Tokwe Beach. And I go pass on to Mr. Shilo Leona, Iteluna. And this sad thing, this man is a neuroscience doctor, a neurosurgeon, where they do operation for people them on the nerves and the neurology of the body and all that kind of thing. And they, even though in Shaka Steven in term, if you don't go there na Gambia, it come on a Salone, it go there na Gambia, this is the brain drain where we can talk about because we government, they know they fix we country out for the day. So it go na neighboring Ghana, but you know, we forget Salone, it can Kana Salone, it can app for what they call. Unfortunately, in one of the new cases, there was Salone get this week, 13 people die of corona. He died in Freetown on Friday, I think. And I will pass on to Mr. Shilon. Let Mr. Shilon give a tribute to this wonderful Sierra Leonean where we get, where, you know, another which we know more. And would they say condolences to his family and in picking them and in wealth and may in soul rest in perfect peace. Mr. Shilon, sir, I'll pass on to you. Let you do a tribute to this wonderful man where we get.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fadima. I personally never met Dr. Jones. I know I ever meet Dr. Jones. I personally had no contact with him. But over the years, I get a lot of Gambian clients. I get a lot of Gambian colleagues. I get a lot of Gambian, even had Gambians who work for me, where they spoke and very, very highly of this man. He's almost like somebody in the Gambia within the worship because of in knowledge in the field of medicine. Even though he was a neurosurgeon, this man, everybody who ever met him say, or would I ever meet him? Sorry if I mix the Creole and English sometimes, I can try my best. But anybody who ever meet him say, there is nothing they know, no kind of operation where this man know, even out of his specialty, where he cannot do. In fact, some people felt he was not only God sent, but he was a gifted doctor. Now, he was operating in Sierra Leone. He left Sierra Leone about 40 years ago, sometime around the Stevens era. Without going by rumor, but that's the period where he left. When he was very prominent in Sierra Leone some 40 years ago. Of course, Sierra Leone then, we had a lot of very renowned doctors like Dr. Olu Williams, doctors like Dr. Roxy Harris. I mean, these were renowned surgeons these were world-class surgeons. And this Dr. Ulrich Jones was one of those kind of doctors that you can put against the best of the best in any country. And believe me, he will come up on top. He was that good. And so, but as Sierra Leonean, just like some of we Naya, they do at the moment, we're not left home, but we not forget home. In the little way possible, we try to make our own contribution to back home. So we left it up to her for judge the sincerity of whatever contribution we make. But Dr. Jones recently visited or go visit Salone. The Sinaye girl Pekingo. In fact, while he was there was another doctor, Salone doctor by the name of Dr. Thomas, weighed and said before them in Akin Head, and they were even thinking of him coming abroad for examination and possible surgery. Dr. Jones just happened to be in Freetown and operated successfully on this doctor we're talking about within the last 2 weeks. But as fate will have it, he was invited to some occasion, Natoke Beach. They say he was in the midst of judges, I presume other doctors, as well as other prominent Sierra Leoneans. And after the gathering, the assumption is that they failed for maintaining the social distancing that they've been preaching. They failed for wearing masks. I think, at times when nothing happens to you, you begin to feel like you're superhuman. But the rumor is that he caught this coronavirus, and that's what he died of very shortly after he get the sickness. But this doctor is of such prominence in Gambia that even though he's Australian, and even though he died in Sierra Leone, the Gambians want him back. They want him to be buried. So they wanted him in life as well as in death. But the point I'm emphasizing here, there are people in almost every field of Sierra Leonean origin with such knowledge, prominence. We are making very little to go after these people to let them come and give with some of their knowledge before they left. No, all of us would die. It's a matter of time. But Sierra Leoneans, particularly the authorities, we're the only ones who act as if we have a lease with God. God does sign. We don't sign with God, say you go live 40 years, 50 years, so just go ahead and corrupt and thief, not do anything of usefulness, because we don't seem to be tapping on talent. We don't seem to be scouting around. We get a medical school. How could such a man pass? Has not had, he may have had the opportunity, but we don't know of any him being engaged in the training of surgeons in Sierra Leone. He's just right over in Gambia. This man should feature prominently now with medical history and with medical school and with medical administration. But this is where we are. We are not making efforts for tap on talent. So we've lost another prominent Sierra Leonean, and we hope and pray that his soul go rest in peace, and that for the contribution we don't make to mankind on this earth, that we will never be able to pay him for, and that the Almighty pay him for all the wonderful job we do. And that although as somebody pay tribute to him, a Gambian doctor, say, although the Gambians, as well as Sierra Leoneans, because he just performed a surgery recently, they all lost a major medical brain, but we hope heaven gain a major medical brain. And if in service will be of use in the life after, we know he is going to be one of the best as he's been on this earth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. A wonderful man, lost, the coronavirus is real, my people. And I see na Freetown, especially the one that when the leader them, the one that where now then they tell people them for be careful and wear masks. Would they see them, they gonna occasion them. Would they see them on Facebook? Would they see them in places them? They know they put their mask, or if they put their mask, then put her under the chin. Coronavirus is real, me people them. Yes, God don't keep them from we not get that disaster where other country they get. So maybe people and they believe say coronavirus no they not lie. But coronavirus there because they kill people them. They people and they die, they kill people them. A good man, good Sierra Leonean, where it don't help more Gambia gain Panama more than Sierra Leone gain Panama. And these are the things where they talk say, we fix we country so people then go able the condition get for good for let people and go there. Professor, I don't know if you want to add anything to the corona and to Dr. Jones, sir, if you get anything where you are put the context, bring it to context.
Okay. Like Mr. Salone actually don't talk. If you say this way don't happen to he represent, climax of a series of people them way me believe say na expert them way the country don't know, because anybody can agree with me say Salone suffer brain drain. The people that wait for good go say, you know what, let them go, take positions them. Like way Kennedy be say, let them not actually think the country will do for them, waiting they will do. But the country system right now, they lay out the climate for the people them for good. Not of us say people don't go. Believe me, are aware of a lot of people them. But now for let them reach no more on the airport. The next thing now then they look for the next available flight for them. Because the system, it's not so much the pay, not really the pay. It is the roadblocks, the way people and they therefore go through the roadblocks for they do the right thing. So all of them three are not about time now sit down and actually say about almost 60 years of independence. Say today, they go before, they can be in. At the same thing no more. So for actually serve this question, if now so we one day now, we not see any progress. No, but because like this doctor way it don't go so a major in your surgeon and a very serious discipline and very serious. Very. So all we do now for just express condolence to your family members them, we stand with them. And we hope say then really will happen. We politicians and will begin to look and say, you know what? Let us try now seize the momentum and let everybody feel happy for the Naya for can contribute to your quota. So thank you very much and back to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for that. We get for change Sierra Leone. We get for change. We bring people them back because they are young people. They where they land now at the inside of the world. Where they go down not to other people then country then go help for develop because we own generation them. We don't waste we bring them a people country. We don't give to people country. We they try to give back to Sierra Leone, but like you said, the stumble blocks are there. Sometimes they encourage we for let we go back in with respect to the other Ghana and all that stuff. Then they where rollings begin. Then with the new government now that they encourage and people them for go back and then they make the provision and the conditions for let be favorable them for encourage them for go back and build the country. So like what we done with Dande, let we go to the president. Like as they say, people and they say the president they not get we don't know how the president go. Now 2 weeks don't go now, so it just go MIA as they say in the military, missing in action. They say he's sick. They say go on a private business, come out from the office of the president. Kekotoma say, the speaker for the president, the secretary of the president of the Wedekose, he go on a private visit. That way, you read the Lebanese council say, I'm in the hospital, but you don't wait and call. Now they must say, he been sick, but he don't better. Now they back say, it don't reach now India. We don't know what's in. We minister them when and then they pay for let them can't tell we what's in the happen in Salone. The one that they pay, they know they talk to we. Is it like people and they say because they don't respect we, they don't respect the people, they don't respect say we people, the people that matter. Then just they do what in them feel for do. We no one follow with president sick. If not sick is sick, it's okay to come out say you know what the president everybody is sick. And if not sick, we pray for like get medicine because we don't want let nothing bad happen to anybody. But let we know waiting, let we know say because remember say what we small when they put them in and then go say okay the Shaka CV not there because na Shaka CV era maybe then na Sierra Leone. Shaka CV is not there. It don't go so high. But SI woman na acting president. We don't get anything in the neighbor could say. So if he not there, because God forbid that's if not under sickness he go power, we don't ever put her under anesthesia or he become unconscious because when they say no, well, we don't know who's kind of sick. Then the vice president for take over. But now we don't know if the vice president or the acting president, we don't know nothing. Nobody know they tell we nothing. And people then they say we deserve for no. So what you wanna think but down there because the president don't go Professor Kutubu, you know, what do you think, Bodane? Because the president is nowhere to be found. Nobody know they tell we nothing. Waiting they happen. So we president. Now we president, we love him. We want waiting they call and we don't pick for late. What they call we get for no. He is part of ours for till the next commission where they will do election. He belongs to the people of Sierra Leone. So Professor, yes. I pass to you, sir.
That the right word you use so say his property of the citizens of Salone.
Yes.
That's not the right word, Andy. Waiting President Bio go do come 2023. If you know, say you want to be the cities, you want to be property of the country, they do the country a favor. They not even announce it. They don't do it. They not even do it. You see, because you not go get two entry. You not go want to be president, but then at the same time you aloof from the people. Then, like you call it. That disrespect of the citizens in the country, they not get an iota of regards for the people. The citizens need for know where is the president and what is wrong with him. I mean, there's no and but or if about this. Now they write that for no. Now the leader, they need to know where is the president, what's wrong with her. That way they, like you correctly say, if you know where. We all, as you know, citizens, will come and pray for our let God get mercy. But let we then no more, a president can just go no more. We know they say anybody get ministers they pay, we know they nothing. To me, the only way I look at disrespect than the of the citizen. And really, President Bio, from which me see this job here too much for him. If you don't tire, I mean, nothing no wrong if you actually resign. But me go actually hope say President Bio not even run anymore 2023 because in your style of governance, now not like you. Now one that's
What's going on?
I mean, we lost in volume.
Because if you say the job too much for they not run anymore. Or if you say accountable to the citizen, that's fine. But we need for know what's wrong with the president and who side they. Now we don't write that for know that. So say knows in our right, but we don't job now for make they know in our right. So back to you there.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Shilon, you get anything for add to the whereabouts of our president?
Yeah, well, the only thing, like Mr. Kutubu Kuruma say, the problem is when you rule people them this way, I mean, rule by secrecy, you know, then one begins to wonder, is it that you just think, say, the people are not deserving of accountability? Just like Ms. Fadima say, if the president is sick, we don't expect detailed information about him. We don't expect the Ministry of Health or Information for cancer that this part by the president they had. I mean, if they say so, God bless them. But if they not say so, they can give you a general information. Say the president has not been sick, but in conditional, you can, in general, vague way. But condition is not serious, is receiving treatment abroad. You can not even get for specify a country, but indications are he will be fine.
Yeah, but even that, we need to know.
Well, no, I'm saying, yeah, we need to know, but if they don't, if they're trying to be secret about it, at least they can use some common sense by being vague, but by the same time give you information. So at least we know, say the president is sick, we know he's abroad, we know his condition not as serious. You know, those general things will make people feel good, but now there is all sorts of speculation. In fact, I mean, I've had worse speculation that even in personal illness, they have talked about security and all this kind of thing. And he is the cause of it because they are giving rise to all kind of theory,
yes,
most of which may not be true. But this is what happens when you get a set of people working for you, whether you're a Minister of Information, whether you're a Minister of Health, where they not really put their mind together for say, okay, how do we notify the public? How do we can't tell the public everything, but we want for. But these people don't even sit down and try to put some thought process into the whole thinking into the process. They just not say anything. How can you rule people without to say anything? Besides this situation, the president, there are so many issues where they arise in Sierra Leone, of which he remains completely silent. As if when you, for example, when you get the ministers there, the minister of local government, the minister of housing, then they at loggerheads with the mayor of Freetown, openly, notoriously, even to the point of physically assaulting a mayor. Isn't that grand enough for the president for say, hey guys, come, rein you minister them in and say, no, you can't do, there's a certain decorum that you have to maintain. Una cannot verbally or physically attack the mayor.
Nope.
I mean, this is the person who runs the showcase of Sierra Leone, when our capital city. But they have put politics, personal politics above everything that they're not even thinking anymore. So I would say, I hope the president and in group or a minister, of course, the ministers are going to do what they want to do because it's up to the president for rein them in. But ministers should not be allowed to do as we've been seeing them doing, but in style of governing or in style of governance is a little bit off the cuff. I think the president will do better. You are ruling people. You shouldn't be so contemptuous of the people that you not think say they need for no. Because like you see, Ms. Fadima say, prayer. I mean, we all can pray, but God can answer certain people in prayer more than certain people. So if we all know that and everybody pray, you never know who that in your prayer God will answer, if indeed the president is sick. But even if he's not sick, we need for them behind you for make sure that you do the right thing and move the country forward. So I find that very disappointing, to say the least.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Before we go to this parliament business, I want to go much quick for something. The security in Sierra Leone. The security in Sierra Leone, the thief man, they don't beaucoup. The brokers, they don't beaucoup. The armed robbery, they get out of control. A few days ago, last week, couple of weeks, we see beaucoup people and they put now things say then go thief. We've been see one side where they go thief, then brokers, then go inside and cut the window at them. Una member say the time the world they go up now Salone, not been get bar windows, we not been get iron domots. Now na Freetown after the war, now bar windows and iron domots, then iron window, then they put them glass, then they put iron at the window bars for the people they're not able to come inside. But we see then they cut them. The thief man then don't become so professional. I don't know if then they na click or then they, because I'm not saying the term of 2000s and what's I learned on 50 years, the 2010 and so and coming later, then we get the clicks then of Freetown. I remember, the term of Anes Baikoroma, the former president, and we get click about them where Palo Conte kind of try for kill all that stuff they out because then we don't get out of control, then they go rob people, then they go make people, them hurt people, armed robbery. So it happened to me on family them, it happened to me on people them then days here on Friday, where me first cousin, very, very close relative, them, then go to their house. The chief man then cut the window, it was raining heavily. Very heavy rain was coming around 2 o'clock in the morning. They go to the house. They cut the bar windows. They open them, then pass somebody inside, go open the door. My cousin who lives downstairs, they sleep. Now he just see people there over in aid. 5 men with cutlass and gun over in aid. They say, where the money, where the money? The pikin just take whatever I get in half of money them, in perfume there, in things there, in laptop, they give them. They say, I don't get nothing. Now, okay, one other person will be then at the outside building, then go inside the, it come on a door for car use the bathroom because he read the dog in the back. It come on a door for car use the bathroom. It meet up, the thief man, them meet up and then get good beats them. When I say them beat them helplessly beat with cutlass, wound and beat them where the pain all day now in body right now, able to work herself, the pain and all that. Then lock them inside with the key from inside and go to the main house. Then go there and take me cousin, they're naked and they say, can't go upstairs now, let you go knock, let the other people, they open upstairs. Now me cousin like for them, he say, me na rent, I not sabi the people they outside. And I say, well, go now all day on one side, you go up, they go open. So me cousin knock the domots, they're not open. Now the thief man then put gun na here, then say, Allah say fire. If you know Allah say fire, we go kill you. Now Allah fire. Where Allah fire, 9-1 bobo when me auntie the men when waiting and call it come, he can't open the door. I say open the door, they rush go inside, they meet the other picking, the other cousin, the other girl picking, then beat himself, slap go inside me auntie the room, take waiting again for take, they say where the money, una give the money, da. That me auntie say, he say, the money all gets now, don't give us money again. He say, well, una kill we now, if una want kill we. Then take him man, then throw away over the veranda. If you don't do surgery now, in back with them, put plates and whatever. But the God way up and where God there with them, nobody not die there. They just get, bruise and beating and whatever. If for done with him and but it gets swelling and back with it at able to work right now, then carry and go hospital, then do X-ray, everything. They just say the swelling will go down and God for them. But this is the country where we live. Where they live. So then we want go now, we can have 2 big houses and then at the compound. They want go to my other cousin in O's. Nine, where they don't come on at the other main house, they want go to the other house. Nine, they are like thief. Like by now we get like maybe 10 or more demand them because if they're not been get money in a house, if they're not been get nothing in a house, they're for being killed they all because to tell you where they come. But these boys are getting bolder. This is the Sierra Leone where we live. And this is why I said the last time where I go free tongue, I told you all here on the show, 3 times they attempt for can rob Usaya Day. And these are the fears and the anxiety that we get where we go say, we not get 117 or 911, we call an ayad a number for call emergency, where during the time of something that happen, the police go come for can defend una or help una. And these are the things we talk about. They forget patrol them. The police they need for do their job. They get for put extra patrol in a street because these boys are getting older, bolder, and these people are getting bolder because there is nothing to do in the country. The security of the citizen, if they not get nothing for itself, let them feel safe inside their house. So these are the things we talk about where the security of the country then get for step up, the police get for step up, the people then get for step up for try for make. Because in the season and then pull an audio, I think from the police people then they pull an audio where they talk on, if the this now in the season, una be careful. But how can people be careful when they lock their house then gets the equipments them? That's why I say Uda than they work for, because the local boys in the area, they don't catch 2 of them. So Uda then they work for, because they get sophisticated thing, then they get gone. Who side them pull gone? Uda then they work for. Uda then they go sell the things then too. You see the problem, how the country they where we get for security, because in everything after the air you breathe, you want to feel secure, because any side where you life threatening, you don't want to go there. So that person to another story there, I just want to tell that story there because it happened to million people then back. We don't talk out, but when it hits close to home, it hurts. It hurts more. For let people then see and say, today na una, tomorrow I go be, today na me, tomorrow I go be una yun. That's why we talk. No matter the party where you dey, no matter who that you dey support, you get right for support, but it good, let we dey talk for them team, they allow they advocate for them team, they all they be. Today na me, tomorrow I go be una, la person to una, le una, would I get what you get for talk.
Professor?
Yes, Professor not in a chair right now.
Okay. All right. Now, here is my take on this. First and foremost, any government that cannot protect its people is a government where they fail or don't fail in its fundamental duties, because security is of utmost importance. So when you get a government where criminality has become so rampant and criminals have gotten so bold or so emboldened that they can do anything to this extent, and then there is no indication that any serious investigation is being conducted by the police, the CID, that gave we reason for pause. Because this is the very Sierra Leone, every time you turn around, then they arrest people on political grounds or freedom of speech or this or that, every little thing, they pick up somebody. This is the reason why, if when I remember the last time, and they are playing too much politics with crime. The last time when they say the president don't appoint special court or the trial for set up a special court for rape, my statement to that effect was, it's ridiculous. There are laws about rape in Australia. You don't need a special court. You just need to prioritize rape. Tell you Inspector General, say, listen, this crime has gotten too much. I want to begin to give priority to such offenses. That's all it takes. But for play this politics, which it sounds like to me, forgive the appearance that, oh, we are taking the crime of rape seriously. We're going to appoint special court, which to me is an unnecessary diversion of necessary funds. I have never known a situation where you go for set special court just for deal with common crimes. It's the same thing. Burglary, I mean, any burglar is a potential killer. It's a potential murderer. A burglar is capable of killing anybody. And in fact, it'll go with the intent of really killing people, not only robbing people. We know that. This is serious because a burglar also can commit rape while they talk, because if you're a woman, then can strip you, sexually abuse you, and then thief you and kill you. Which one is more important? If the government is serious, and Mr. AG of Sierra Leone, Mr. IG of Sierra Leone, these are the things you guys should be giving priority to. Prioritize, put at the top of the list. Let us know that you people care. That's why the president appoints you now. You, the Inspector General. How do you feel when crimes like this are taking place and nobody is seeing any reaction on the part of the police for, say, they are giving attention to such extreme conduct? How do the AG will get an Attorney General? How many prosecutors do you get? How well trained? What priority are you giving for when these people are arrested and they be brought to justice right away? And you do know that when these matters are not investigated, all it does, it emboldens the people and for them again and again and again. And in the process, people get killed. Because even if they not chop you and kill you, but if they beat you mercilessly and you suffer serious injuries, considering the medical condition of Sierra Leone, you could die of the injuries. So the implications are great. So again, I always say running government not easy. These guys think it's easy. Everybody want to go become minister. Everybody want to go well, of course, we know the intention. 90% of them are not interested in governing. They're just interested in lining up their pocket. The remaining 10% are in such small minority that they now get what it takes to fight back the majority who are clearly there for themselves. So this is the problem Sierra Leone has. There is corruption. I mean, you talk about endemic corruption. I mean, it's all over the place. So we got to start taking things seriously. So it's not only the politicians are just one segment. The parliamentarians, those who are in the executive appointees, they are ones. Well, what about the judiciary itself? We got to point them out and call them out too. What is the Chief Justice doing? When you are made a Chief Justice, go with that position is certain responsibility. You get expansive power. You can make a difference. You can work with the Inspector General and the Attorney General for law and solve crime is just not the grandeur of the position as a Chief Justice, or as Attorney General, or Inspector General. These are nice positions to brag about, but like they say, the taste of the pudding lies in the eating. No matter how you say, oh, look what my pudding look good, but if it not taste good, nobody wants it. So please, Mr. Chief Justice, Mr. Attorney General, Mr. Inspector General, it's about time when I begin for help the president, unless he tell when I say not to that you want to, but if when I know what's in the job description of when I be, nobody need for tell when I for say law and order for be when a priority, not to for harass political opponents, or not to for come up with substantiated charges against people for treason and all that nonsense when there is no treason. And, you know, I make waste the country money and try for make a case well when I know say when I not get. I think we'll be much better off if we begin for deal with basic stuff in Sierra Leone, and that is law and order in the most effective way. And like Ms. Fadima say, I mean, people are not stupid. It's obvious that these guys are committing these crimes under the cover of some power or powerful people, because they don't seem to forget any fear of being caught. And this is a thing that has been going on even in the last administration. So this is nothing new. You know, I know of incidents in which somebody say, then go reports people away can't thief na us. Then eventually the police, this person lives right here in North Carolina. He go home. When you know during the day somebody can't thief, then catch him. So with your own American way of thinking, when I beat the person, no, not beat him. Let call the police. So then call the police, then take this guy, go downtown. Now CID. So this Salone man will come to America, go na CID for good explain what happened. Next thing you know, he say, you know, waiting, whose indication this criminal give to the inspector. He was under arrest. He said he was under arrest. So the complainant ended up being arrested and spent 2 nights in jail. He went and go rob. And this was under the previous administration. Mm. So we know this is nothing new. So we begin to wonder, are the police working in cahoots with criminals? If so, this is dangerous. And last but not least, what else do you expect when we get a bunch of young people them who are not being given jobs, mm-hmm. or who have no future? They now get even antumot. There was a time we'll get the expression antumot. Mm-hmm. Now most of these guys don't even have antumot. Nothing no day. They don't get job. Nobody know to chip them, not to get anything. And we can create jobs, but that's not the situation. So it's easy for them to make a choice. Should I go and take a chance in robbing people? If they catch me, at least and go put me in a Panama Road, I go eat once a day. Because Panama Road, I don't think you eat 3 times a day. But although you're supposed to. But at least the robber or the criminals say, well, at least I go eat once a day. But out here, I just say hustle all day. I go one all day and not get nothing for it. So this is the kind of option or the alternative or the left give people them. So again, folks, una within a power with a call una for pay some seriousness to the situation. You are not going to get investors. You are not going to get diasporans coming home, because we not use then kind of a thing than they anymore for begin look behind your back where you go sleep, you know, for sleep in peace. So if you want people to come invest in your country, if you want diasporans to come home, when I for begin, the Inspector General, the Attorney General, the Chief Justice, the President, when I for begin for take matters seriously and start protecting or providing protection for everybody, poor or rich. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Professor, I don't know, State Professor gets another commitment.
I did.
Okay, you are still in. Okay, so you hear waiting. I don't talk, and I think I don't talk with you offline about the robbery of me family there where they go now they host the video. You read the audio them and not just play no more because I don't want to take time. Now just quick talk. We will talk on that another day of the security of the country. What do you think? What do you think they go on with anything and then we don't see boku boku na social media and one robbery is too much. They will say, some people will say, oh, well, when I get out, the same thing. But this is just like we country, the lawlessness, boku, nothing better. Now they come out inside, waiting, and they call, and they get a group of people with some, then they work for, where then they go give them property out, then go sell them property out, then to where waiting and calls them. Because in the own era, Shaka Stephen in time, in as much as Shaka Stephen was a dictator, there was a time when the Mamioko Street murder be happen, where people then go kill for go rob and comping, then puts them in a court and trial, and then we get trial by death by hanging if they find you guilty of murder, death by hanging, and they go hang you. So what they do that one, then they go to court, quick, sweep, court done, the juror, they find them guilty, they hang them, they picking them, they're not being the do that thing, and they anybody where they go fetch them, maybe they go choke themselves or whatever, but they know they go for go kill a person, you know. So what do you think about that, the security of Salone before we go to the parliament?
Thank you very much. Whether you are going, I call them that you and that your family will for tell God thank you. We, nothing. I mean, we are not saying nothing, no commodity, because by waiting me, you talk things commodity actually. Only that, extreme way go lead to a loss of life. So in that regard, now for tell God thank you, when a commodity with their lives, even though they are battered, they are bruised and all that. Now, the question we ask, why Salone don't go down to this level where nobody no get respect for anybody property? Because when things happen now, most of them here is being done at broad daylight, so then they do them. So it's like, you get a syndicate where, I won't believe, say, the guys say where they in charge of the laws, also, they actually know of the here where they happen. They know what can happen, but they know the, take action. For example, the person say, well, we say get an abort, yes. But if you call 911 Naya, then they come immediately. Nobody know tell you say, well, Naya, we not get gas na the motor car, we not get paper for right on, we not get this, we not get no, you cannot. 911 an emergency because of life and death business. So the authorities then they react. So that's the big difference between we and the under. To the under they can make a joke, but we now know they can joke. Now for like call 911, in fact they not even do it such a way that you don't even need to for tell them any side now anymore. This someone not for protect Lily to kill them. Once you 911, they will know exactly who side that call they come up from, so they will candy. So they ask, what thing become of the country now where this don't turn a way of life, this kind of brazen criminality, people they're not afraid God, everybody don't be a victim, especially we were overseen now where you go. We they go yonder now we don't turn the victim. Because like all them people anyway you talk to now, people they want until my mama they ask, I be them from God knows when. All they say and they so for like that lady, you don't work all this year. Where the member say a lily a penny where you get there and you have look this kind of a thing we go meet her.
Yeah.
Look this kind of a thing we go meet her in a family. Would I go gladly for them 3 years so? So we wonder how government go able. Me, if you let me, I want to return the death penalty, and if you let me, perhaps the death penalty will serve as a deterrent. They can say you call Shaka Stevens eventually, which is true, because I remember the Mamioko Street. They no, in fact, first I've been the Wellington Street murder. We've been of the Wellington Street murder than Johnny Grant. They'll go to the Mamioko Street. I mean, those things they send a message loud and clear. Shaka Stevens say you don't be prepared for pay for the price. So I believe say we for begin return to them days and the way life get forbid for life. Because the way they take people in life that is so reckless and never funny. I don't see any justification in that. So that's the way I look at it now.
Yeah. So now we got Mr. Shilon. So you get anything for that before we go to the topic of the day, the big topics of the day?
Yeah.
Yes,
The
sir.
only thing is, I think we on this program, I don't like to disagree with any of us, but I get a little bit uncomfortable when you reference Shaka Stephen because he is the worst example of anything. The very Shaka Stephen what we talk about, based upon what I know, not which in my opinion, he promoted hooliganism. He sent people into neighborhoods to cause havoc and kill people. I had an uncle who was the deputy commissioner of police, H.W. Shillon. He told me stories and stories and stories. He died here at 94. That Shaka Stevens, people need to know this. Okay, sometimes we refer to APC. Shaka Stevens, we call all the top-notch police officers from assistant commissioner, who never get inspector general. They want this fancy name because England get them, but I think commissioner was great. So he would call them, summon them to the State House. They come. My uncle tell me, say, Pasha Kigo come. Then he tell, first he give them all, everybody, a case of hard liquor, brandy or whiskey, all mixed. Everybody get a case. Then good liquor, he buy them for them, he give them. Then he tell them, say, well, I want, the reason we make a call now, we boys then go there, for example, like ginger ale. Ginger ale is a classic example because this happened.
Right.
He say, well, boys, so then there will be some commotion going on at ginger ale. Now we boys then, they operate there, so we will not send police there. Shaka Stevens was a promoter of this kind of violence. Wow. So we have to be very careful of this man. There is nothing good he promoted in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
Now, then when the talk say he kill people who commit crime, okay, he promotes crime, but young people will never kill, will kill other people then. Well, yeah. But then, so if you not get a take or a cut from the crime, you get punished. So he's the worst example ever.
We just use them, but I stand corrected, sir. We just use them. Yeah, it's good to know. It's good to talk about it. Because in me, as a little girl growing up, when that Mamioko split mother, which is what I remember, and I remember, say, I've been there class 7 or something, na St. Anne's, or class 6, primary school. I remember they led them na Pademba Road when they don't kill them because the court find them guilty of murder. Because they go kill them company because of money. They go for go thief them. They go for go robbing money because they get money. They go kill them and then they. So that's why I use that example. Say, I remember that time everybody afraid. So all them bobo they way they do whatever bad. But like how you say, rightfully so, it get in your man them when they said, so then get their own thing on the gun. That's why I say, Uda them boboya they work for. That is why I asked the question. Because Uda them boboya then they work for, Uda them work then they do. Uda then they do because sometimes when you see it's so sophisticated and planned that you the one that say, who side and pull all the equipment here. You know, for do them thing they commit the atrocity they and terror when they cause on the people and the citizens of Sierra Leone because people are minding their business in their little corner. Inside your own, you're supposed to feel free and safe, but you don't feel safe anymore with the bar windows there, with the medals on your window, then get the thing that when they use for the things that when they use for cuts the wire them for going say and attack the people. And we get a caller on the line, we go take the caller, but then we go kind of much because Professor make a point where he say we're not able to call policeman them. We're not able the telecommunication if now they even if you dial, you're not even able to talk, they know your location and then can come. The phone then now you they press SOS, then they come, they know your location where then they come. We get for can go for this slap cap then business where then they talk the Sierra Leone cable company what they call Slet Trade. We get for can go for then 10 because we see something they happen now the country inside parliament where they go then days here. Then we will come back. Let me take the caller quick. Caller, good evening, name please and say the call from. Hello, caller. What's your name and who side they call from, please?
Okay, this is Kasaba Kitchen.
Yes, my
call
darling.
from Seattle, Washington.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I got a problem I want to talk to Mr. Kutubu about.
Okay, Kutubu,
Are
are
you
you
with
ready
me?
to listen?
Okay. Mr. Kutubu,
Kutubu.
Yeah,
I
they
want to
listen.
ask you a
Okay.
question. We, the people of Sierra Leone, we campaign and we
Yeah, they listen to the
elected a
question.
president. I'm with you. We campaigned and we elected a president. Some time ago, a few days ago, the president said he was going on a private visit for 5 days. And it's been another 10 days. Nobody knows where the president is. Nobody knows what is going on with the president. That is number one. Number two, you were talking about Shaka Stevens days. When we want to talk, we're talking about the 20th century, in which the violence in my beloved country is being totally orchestrated by the words of the president and the first lady. Terrorism, mob justice, beats them. And I'm going to ask another question. So, the red court, was it only set for Kamaremba as an opposition leader, as a youth? What about all those other things that we know about? I need these questions to be answered because these are the situation that is causing mayhem in our country. And before I leave, I want to tell the world, especially Sierra Leoneans, have you not seen yet a woman, Zainab Sharif, has transformed the way of entertainment in Sierra Leone? And I hope Zainab Sharif can give women the inspiration to know that it is time for women to rule Sierra Leone. Yes, 2023, it is time for women. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Madam Casada Kitchen, Daphne, Maximilian, Christiana Part, a voice on social media, a voice for Sierra Leoneans. You know, some might like her, some might not like her, but they don't say opinion. This is the voice of Sierra Leone, a platform where everybody comes respectfully and give their opinion. And it throw the question to you, Professor. Say, don't you think?
What thing we need for we need for separate. Wait till he talk from your sad experience. We don't just go to the family members. Now, two things in there we really not much. Which you don't recall, which your family members can go through from waiting you not explain. So waiting me want to go and focus on waiting you come tell we now what your family go through. This way your family go through, now one that way want the death penalty on anybody. The death penalty. Anyhow we look at. The political statement them way, then they make the leaders and they make the insightful statement them. We need to understand, say, if they across the board now, both parties, not to just one. Both parties them then get the agents them, where they, for example, SFPP get people like Arata them, you know, then they fund the embers of
and the Attilas, don't forget them.
One time in a short way, he hold cutlass and all that. All of those things and they not the bode well for the country. So we ask if now this type of society, this one. But again, like I say, what I really want, Lord, we talk to our sister, for we are let we at least for now particularize this to that kind of dangerous criminal armed robbery. We almost, because when you tell me, I was like in awe. I was really in awe. Then people, when they can say God be God or God is Sarah, and I no more save them.
Yes.
So these are the things that we for they ask for punitive measures them. against anybody who do that. Like I said, the other one, the way he bring out, yes, they're also very serious. You know, I mean, these are words. Well, again, waiting, I wonder, the lady understand. Not to everybody when they talk about comment job, if they go act on the spot, not to everybody. We all different from how we they reason things. We all different. Because like I mean, you can't tell me, oh, they say, Bokuchubulo go cause political violence. You ain't talking, I know say this because I know say you know go do me any good, you know, do the country any good. So that's shows so much of the people that way they answer. Because if you say no go cause violence, the first question are the way your family members them, where them? Because your family members are not good, they oversee, then they enjoy good lives, then they are good place, and they say, let me go do this. Now, I need to see your family members. No, all day before. But if you're not going to bring them, you waste your time. So we left to the people that when they tell them, for let them decide. Ask them, where you auntie, where you brother, where you nephew, where you sister, where you this, where them. We want to see them. Not all go there. But if you keep them, so now me no more go get because don't give me 2-3 leons. Say let me and they triangle. So like I said, me they separate the two issues. Wait till you explain to, because you not explain that to me. I was in awe. I couldn't believe something like that. So people like that, they actually deserve the death penalty. So now that me go say.
Okay, thank you so much. And we'll go for Can one day for Can talk on security of Sierra Leone. And Mr. Shilo make a point about them, you know, long time ago, Shaka Stevens, they tell and say, Nami Bobo den Dande Yanda, and Nami waiting and call Dande Yanda, una not touch them na for we then the feto by Yanda, so let the policeman they not go there. And is it happening in present day now? Because we see some of the things that when they behave in present day, is this a continuation of the way when they behave? Because we get for can to them, you know, we get for no, we get for peel the orange, the yabas, small, you know, say yabas get boku and I get for peel the layers. For now we see, for go to the core of the problem, waiting at them problem, yeah, how we go make it end. Because we get a country where they know they do the right thing. I mean, how people go they rightfully say people are not go want for go there. And we get another brother where maybe later on we're not gonna get time today, but we will come back another day where they talk on how in get two where in believe say Sierra Leone for go better, the port for taking out them big boku tariff the way they all for secure we border too. We borders are porous. We have porous borders. We have people smuggling in and foreigners and they smuggle in and bringing drugs and stuff into our country at night. Our borders are porous. We forget security. The Minister of Interior, whatever they call them, you know, they get for work. But then are they looking the other way to let these people enter and bring corruption? We see a plane of cocaine where the last time the British government and whatever intercede inside Sierra Leone. So all them things in there because we country for be a peaceful, happy country, just like what's in the concept. But I mean, you know, we don't know. But let me go to this other talk where we get the parliament. The parliament. I got two audio them and video them while we watch. One courtesy of Black TV. We tell them thank you, we brother. Then we go come because the question then says Sierra Leone na corrupt na inside Sierra Leone Parliament na the second corrupt out of the 4 institutions. Them we get a video audio there. Then we get another audio where we play where happened between the Minister of Information and Parliament where they go there where they go ask questions, but they go present in case to Parliament say they want for sale to private company them they want for sale with Sierra Leone with slack up with Sierra Leone thing what we call SLET usai now with Sierra Leone communication usai all the communication they pass usai the government is security they pass. But we go come to that one let una listen which we let we all listen to the audio them the audio and the video. It will take about 15 minutes now 2 audio and video go take about 15 minutes. Let we listen maybe 12 to 15 minutes. Let we listen keenly. Una take note, una mark the points them, then we come back with the conversation. So technical team, please play them video here for we and then audio here for we. Begin first with the one where they talk of the parliament in waiting. Then we go to the one with the Minister of Information and versus Ibrahim Tawa Conte, when our MP for constituency that Lumley, that constituency in Lumley 123 or something in Lumley. So now we listen to the wire, so then we will come back with the conversation.
The position, the more pervasive the graft. Ibrahim Tommy is the head of Carl.
The people who we surveyed told us that there are 4 very corrupt institutions in the country: the police, public health institutions, public schools, and parliament.
What did they tell you about the reason for them perceiving parliaments to be this corrupt?
We believe it's because of their levels of interactions with these institutions. They see parliamentarians, they see their lifestyle before they got elected into office. People go for confirmation hearings in parliament. People go for budget hearings. So the interactions between public officers and what these public officers tell their people, we believe informed the views of the people who we surveyed.
In a rare interview, Speaker of Parliament Dr. Abbas Bondo vehemently dismisses the allegations, saying he feels embarrassed by them.
Honestly, I received the information with utter astonishment, because I do know, as head of the institution, that Parliament cannot, by any stretch of the imagination, be described as corrupt, let alone the second most corrupt institution in this country.
They spoke to thousands of people, and I have personally spoken to many people who've come before Parliament, either for confirmation hearings or to place a bill in Parliament, who said that they were asked for money before Parliament would do that.
Again, I cannot say we have any verifiable evidence to that effect. If that practice is taking place, we will certainly try to bring that to a halt. At the same time, as I said earlier, I regard this as an open invitation for self-introspection by Parliament and parliamentarians. And that is a matter that I'll be looking into very censoriously when we resume sittings.
Despite that denial by the Speaker, many MPs across the political divide have told me that yes, they do ask for money, and yes, they do get given money. They would not be recorded, but outspoken ruling party MP Hindolon Gevao did agree to be taped.
It behoves you to be very honest and say the truth. So I cannot shy away from the fact that there is corruption in Parliament. People that have been nominated by the President to go to Parliament for approval.
And I understand that even when pieces of legislation are taken to Parliament, for such to go through, there should be some bribe, call it that.
I know for sure for pre-legislative hearing, yes, line ministries do come with monies that is being given to parliamentarians that attend. It's still public knowledge that during budget hearing, we parliamentarians do ask line ministries to bring forth monies before we could hear them, or if they don't come with monies, we will withhold their budget and the like. These are things that we parliamentarians really do in a very covert manner, dealing with the clerk who we deal with, the member of parliament.
Someone who heads a public enterprise has told me that he feels like resigning his job because he feels harassed by MPs. Another says Parliament summons him unnecessarily frequently as a way to harass him because he has allegedly refused to give them money. The belief of many here is that if Parliament is not fixed, not least in the fight against corruption, society will remain broken.
And that's Umaru Fofana reporting from Sierra Leone.
So the issue of the unbundling of SALCAP, this is government's position. At the 7th meeting of Cabinet,
the Minister of Information and Communication, Mohamed Rahman Sware, been turned up before MPDM from the Transparency and Accountability Committee and the Information and Communication Committee at the Salone Parliament, Thursday, September 10, 2020. MP dem been called the Minister of Information for go explain to Parliament why he as the Minister of Information and Communication tell the President say government for unbundle the Sierra Leone Cable Limited, we mean say government for shape the Salone Cable Limited SALCAB to two for manage the fiber optic cable them where they make Salone people get internet connection. This according to the Minister of Information in proposal go be 1. The air submarine cable for manage the cable landing station, and 2. The national fiber backbone network for manage the national terrestrial fiber network. According to the Minister of Information and Communication, this na cabinet decision, and the President don't give him order for do this after we convince cabinet, and by extension the President say SALCAB not only make profit this bientem. But the President, Julius Maada inside in speech to Parliament Thursday, May 2nd, 2019, say SALCAB na one of the parastatal them na the information sector we don't they make progress for improve and they make profits. This contradicts what the Minister of Information tell Cabinet this bientem say SALCAB not they make profits but just they pull aid money where government can spend on them. Now, Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, when the chairman for the Transparency and Accountability Committee in Parliament, been take the podium for ask the Minister of Information and Communication, Mohamed Rahman Soare, as to who that now people for believe between in the Minister of Information and the President and Nade Diagbabin for them.
And I have read two separate documents, honorable members. If you could allow me, can we allow the Minister to tell us between the two documents which one is true and which one is inconsistent?
The presentation.
His Excellency made a presentation that, let me finish, patient. His Excellency made a presentation that SALCAB has emerged as one of the most profitable entity under the Ministry of Information and Communication. And in that speech, there are 11 paragraphs under improving information and communication and technology. And 6, that is 44%. Of the total speech on the Ministry of Information constitutes the work on SALCAB. Right. So if you can exercise patience, if the Minister can tell us which of them is right, whether it is the presentation to Cabinet that SALCAB is not making money and they are living on bare bones and that they are only surviving at break-even, or the one that the President presented to Parliament. Mr. Minister.
I have done a presentation. Cabinet has concluded by your own admission. I am a member of Cabinet, so charged with implementing it. So I'm not going to be drawn into, validating one thing or the other. The Cabinet was presided over by His Excellency the President, and you just read the Cabinet conclusion. That is what, as Minister, I am bound by. Until otherwise advised, I have a Cabinet conclusion to implement, and I am very scrupulously going to adhere to that.
As the Minister of Information and Communication say he no go answer no question for tell if waiting the President talk about SALCAB na true, or if waiting in as Minister say about SALCAB we make way for this decision na true. But Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte been continue for press the Minister of Information and Communication on the same point for respond, but the Minister carry on for drag foot and tinap like bone at throat before MP them.
Mr. Minister, are you telling us that we should, as members of Parliament, ignore completely this policy statement presented by His Excellency the President and subsequent policy statement that he will present, because you are telling us that the information presented are not consistent?
I have not said so.
Sorry, Mr. Minister. Sorry. You are telling us that the information is inconsistent. You are telling us that the information you presented, or the President presented to us, was to set an ambush for the Minister of Information to walk into. Is that what I said?
You try to lay a snare for me. You try to waylay me. I'm too mature and grown up to waylay. Let's leave that. Let's leave that one. Yes, even before Parliament, I have the right to defend myself.
The Minister of Information carry on for be more stubborn on him point, not for explain to MP them waiting them in need for no. Take to the point where he called himself the big boy in the room before MP them, but Honorable Tawa Conte been check him on this point.
I am still trying to be the big boy in the room. I am saying when we have
order, Mr. Minister. If you are at the Ministry of Information and Communication, you are the big boy. You are the big boy. As I seated here, order. As I seated here, I sit as the Speaker of Parliament.
Okay, you are the biggest boy in the room. Respect. Okay. It does not take away the fact that I'm also a big boy in the room. You are the biggest boy in the room, by virtue of where you sit right now. I mean, let us be mutually respectful as we go through this process. I don't want us to end separately, you know.
After this, Honorable Tawa Conte may make am clear say the Minister of Information don't challenge Parliament and agree for respond to the main question where them call am for, where this don't pull Parliament in work.
SALCAB is going to be unbundled. Let's even know that the Minister did not explain to Parliament the reasons why SALCAB should be unbundled, because from what he has presented and from the questions asked is that he is not ready to validate information provided by the Ministry of Information and Communication to the President for the development that have taken place at SALCAB. So, honorable members,
yes, sir.
I can give you time to ask a few questions. If the Minister chooses to respond, he can. If he cannot, at least the public understands that the Minister is in contempt of Parliament.
But not to Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte no more, not been take am easy with the Minister of Information as the Member of Parliament where they represent constituency 59 Akambia districts. Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara been put am clear one to the Minister of Information Mohamed Raman Suare say he don't make too much on this issue and not tell the President true but the SALCAB issue and say much don't challenge and FTI MP them by the way how they respond to them.
Let's put it black and white before you. That if you fail to answer our questions, as little as you might see us, you are the big boy in the room. That is correct, Mr. Minister. No, you are the big man in the room. But we are going to tell you as a Parliament that if you don't answer our questions here, we will be left with no options. But to tell you, first you deceive the President, and you're deceiving us again as members of Parliament. And this culture of deceiving people because we have authority. And you know what? Sorry to say this to you, Mr. Minister, but the way you respond to us was so arrogant. You displayed complete arrogance before us. And this is no, let's face this reality. No, let's face this reality. No, that is complete arrogance. It was an insult to us as members of Parliament. No, I am calm.
As you hear, the contribution by Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara not been go down well with the Minister of Information and arguments been commodity we make Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara been left this meeting before term. Where the meeting been done warm and the Minister still no respond to the MP they made the main question where they may try for no. The press may understand say the leadership of Parliament been call Honorable Tawa Conte na corner and talk to them waiting the public no be know. And we Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte return back na the room for continue the meeting. He will make the most historic speech where he resigned as the chairman of the Transparency and Accountability Committee in Parliament.
Considering the nature of the job that I accepted when this was approved in the Chamber of Parliament, I realized it's going to be a daunting task. I realized it's going to be a Herculean task. I realized much is expected from me from both Parliament and the people of this country. When once I subscribed the vote on the 25th of April 2018, I knew I am going into a task and I am going to enter into uncharted territories. Today is no different. Today is another day that my resolve has been tested. Today is another day that we should believe that Sierra Leone comes first and Sierra Leone is bigger than any other person. On that note, I want to sadly announce my resignation as chairman of the Transparency and Accountability Committee, effective immediately.
All of us.
I have joined the meeting.
Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte still no make clear yet to Glad TV Online as to why he decided to resign in position as chairman of the Transparency and Accountability Committee at the Salone Parliament just after the leadership of the Salone Parliament column where he be done tight the Minister of Information and Communication Muhammad Raman Sware with question them on the issue we get for do with why government don't decide for shape Salcab to 2. For Salone Parliament, I on Glad TV Online. Mina Abdullah Glad reports.
Well, we want to tell we brother, thank you, Mr. Blah, Abdullah Blah, for this wonderful report. And we all see, because thanks to technology, thanks to the internet, thanks to everything, we all able to see what they go on. And we don't see the case where they put before Parliament, where they go. We don't hear, first of all, where they say Parliament, number 2 corrupt place inside Salone. Now Parliament responsible for the corruption, number 2. But we hear the Speaker of Parliament say, no, na lie and they lie, or there's no evidence for prove that, but you go find out, no, nothing but that. We hear them say that they take money under the table for appointees them, where the executive branch of the government, they bring kind of people them, and they therefore pay Parliament the money. But I want again remind Una and bring to our attention, there is a tweet that the Commissioner of Anti-Corruption, when Mr. Ben Fala put in post then days here, he said ACC has been in investigating Parliament. The investigation is in advanced stages, and then he say that other claims in Parliament is to be looked at. Everyone calm down. For an MP to say corruption or whatever does not mean that the evidence is already in our lap, but we will do the work. You say not getting evidence here, but they're doing work. And a lot of people come back at say, is it just where now because now SLPP appoint and they're doing work. And I want to remind with people them something be happened last year where ACC been say they make Parliament. And this man wanna see this young member of Parliament for constituency 132 in a Lumley area, where they call Ibrahim Tawa Conte. Ibrahim Tawa Conte, sometime last year in November, when I remember there was a big argument between he and the clerk of Parliament when a Parantarawali. They all two then are SLPP, not for saying APC people lemo. They all two na SLPP, and then we will see. When they carry the bill going to Parliament, where they say non-accountability impact spending for the government, that the president, the vice president of the Speaker of the House, when they're ready for travel, they're not for us, and they forget their open budget, they forget a blank check because of the travel. Travel where the president they travel, they forget a blank check. Nobody not for us question, but that money they can spend any money where they want. So that we don't pass that law day. Now, this same Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, now I say no. This not right for the people then. And we see where even then at AYV, okay, we hear Lawrence Liman go on Facebook, they make comments while Honorable Tawa in the clerk of Parliament when a Paran Tarawali, when they argue and Ibrahim Tawa they talk say the things that when they do they're not transparent, the money that when they give na Parliament they not they use them and this same clerk of Parliament Tawa Conte like no accuse and say now in the underman. So now this money case don't come up. And in name don't measure inside there, Tawa Conte, Ibrahim Tawa Conte, the MP, we don't make that claim there, but they say, they call on a corner and waiting and call them, they say because then at the SLPP party and the Lawrence Lima, when I in the secretary or whatever I be entitled to the SLPP party, say that for discipline because he don't go out of where they call for calling company out in public. But this man, as a young man, to many Sierra Leoneans, then call her a hero, then call her a Sierra Leonean where we want for see, then call him a man where they fight for the people and for God do in job. And again, we don't hear him, where he challenged the Minister of Information when I read the soiree, where one sell they don't say the cabinets don't come to a conclusion. Don't say they want to sell some of we Sierra Leone cable telephone company. They want to sell them to foreign people then because we know they make money. And we hearing at the ordinary video where Honorable Ibrahim Tawa say, Ibrahim Tawa Conte, Tawa say, Ibrahim Tawa Conte, Tawa say, no. So you want to tell we say the president we don't come. The beginning of what can do in budget thing, it don't talk say this is one of the things that would make money for Salone. Now you they can't talk say as minister, you they can't tell we say they know they make money. So now you lie to the president, I you can't tell we what in are the right thing we want for no. And this now SLPP man where they do in work for the people where they put her inside there. So for once we see a parliament that is working. But then whatever happened on the side later on, it come out say, I cannot do this job no more because I cannot serve the people correctly and wisely for whatever they come in where we don't know. But it give us say, I cannot sit on this thing and sit on they make hypocrites and sit on they work for the light of the people. I cannot do it no more. If I get for do them, I get for do me work with the fullest thing with no strings attached and waiting a call. And the anti-corruption be done all that case there. Where be happen where the clerk of parliament talk say, if I talk, they go run after you with cutlass. If I talk, what thing they happen? They say the accusation don't come. The clerk of parliament talk say, they say na hypocrite, na badat step and tawata because they not agree for late travel. And then we hear parents say, no, na two and no more, I don't travel. The time where the speaker we go with an Abuja, then they go out a conference. He says, so, not for that day. He said, but when they talk the two, they say, because enough for talk, SLPP member, we see where Lawrence Liman will be hearing where Lawrence Liman, but they make the comments on live TV, where they talk with Tawata Ali, Tawa Conte, then na AYV with Paran Tarawali. So I pass on to me people and the phone line open. But Mr. Shilon, Mr. Kutubu, una don't hear, una don't see. They don't accuse with parliament. These are the things that are happening. These are the things, transparency not there. The money they give for the constituency, they're not there. Then they take bribe for what they call it. We don't ask the question I had before. Is our parliament working? Because we don't see the money them now. They don't tell we say, we they ask say why make as person go so they not they check them background and they approve them. Inside one day they don't approve them. So with parliaments then they fail we. But the speaker of parliament don't talk say ain't nobody steer where they go on. So when I believe them, what in they talk, what in they go on? Anybody surprised? What in they go on? Now pass on to una self 1 month. Me people and the phone line open as we did discuss. Una self join the conversation. Now pass on to una Mr. Shilon, Mr. Kutubuko Master. Una take as una may, una want, una wish.
The saddest thing we can meet any country now for them una get to a parliament, then even tag them with corruption. For even tag them, it's sad. For tag them. Because we all know say we parliament and the supreme body. The parliament actually hold the country. The parliament they hold everybody accountable. But people they more we assume for the sake of supposition say yes, these claims say they get truth. All is lost. If amigo even say no, Lord not even get any parliament anymore. Now when they see how they make mockery of confirmation process. People they go no more today. And they confirm them in mass. We not say some of we when they win social media, we already talk say this parliament never holds an investigation. They not they do anything. Yet we get we get portfolio of crimes where they go on. Also under this administration, also where they go on. But nobody nobody talks about it. Nobody. So this is not just an example, no more of what. So I think say what we need for do now really. Some of we go for being say, but we don't need parliament and Salone anymore. Seriously, now that's some of we go say. Because this thing is so horrendous. It reminds me of when people say they happen now. Yes, I recall in 1979 we get something like the app scam where some Congress, some FBI people then go pose like then Arab sheikhs them. So they may get for go buy influence then they try for pay congressman for let them buy, influence. But it was actually meant for test we congressmen are honest with them, so they may hold a lot of people, a lot of congressmen and jail them, and some states they know able to recover. So at we need plenty. Mr. Benkefala, I don't seem for put so much premium on what he talk, because it's a second complain about things. So I don't know why he want to this kind of position here. I expect saying go with the citizens. Or be it as we're glad we this don't come on. I don't now no say with parliament that an exponentially corrupt institution, but some of which even say we don't need them anymore. Because just a bunch of hustlers, money grabbers, we don't even know what's in the paper. So back to you.
Okay. Now we are going to Mr. Sheila and go talk for this first round. Then we'll take some callers. Then we'll come back to the conversation. Kutubu, I know say you want to go, so if you still never go to your other commitment.
5 o'clock.
Okay, 5 o'clock. Okay. So okay, that's good then. It's 5 o'clock now. It's 5 o'clock now. You wanna just let
Unaki phase me out now.
Okay, so Professor got another commitment where they go to. So I mean, we're gonna celebrate you at the end of the show, even though you know
I go watch. I go watch
another commitment. I go
watch the.
We say happy birthday again, more grace with age, and we tell you thank you for all what you they do. Some man go like you, some man not go like you, but we they try for bring you in the middle. Let you be fair and just to Sierra Leone. So thank you so much. With a release, Professor, and then it will be me and Mr. Shilon left. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay. So now we come back, Mr. Shilon, to the audio the way you don't hear each other. Yeah. And we see what's in the statement with Mr. Benkelfala make. Mr. Benkelfala say calm down. But people then go ask how we go calm down, why we go calm down, because 9 months ago we see the display of the two. Then they accuse each other for corruption and paramilitarily in name the inside that corruption day. And then they don't name them inside the where now then they take the money and then they pass on to them. They all know the syndicate where they go inside there for this corruption business. So Mr. Shilon quick go say then we will take the callers, then we will come back and continue the conversation.
Well, like Professor Kutubu said, this is most unfortunate. This is the problem. What is so disconcerting or discouraging about the whole process is we have the younger generation, like Tawa Conte, and the Minister of Information, Soare, who are of, I believe, the same generation. Mm-hmm. Okay? They're of the same generation. These are the people who they try for mold. So they're not going to take the baton of corruption into the future. Unfortunately, what a person like the minister are doing is grabbing the baton of corruption for run into the future, as hard as we're trying, which leads to Sierra Leone will always have its wheels spinning, but not going anywhere, because we are not serious about making progress. Now, here is the thing that I do not understand. If the government want for sale, well, first of all, Mr. Tawakonte was so right. You can't have parliament. In fact, what that tells me of the minister, either you're not doing homework or you take parliament for granted, thinking it was just going to come and talk over them. And probably totally unexpectedly, Mr. Tawakonte raised the issue. So he probably just thought he could just come and just run roughshod over them and just say all of that. Because what sense does it make? At a time when people are talking about giving Sierra Leoneans opportunity and preference, and when they sell a major governmental parastatal, that when I just decide among the cabinet members, not even parliament, that should have a say-so, because the parliament are the representative of the people, when I decide for sale to foreigners, without having disclosed to Sierra Leoneans abroad or at home that there is plan afoot to sell this thing. And in fact, if that's what they want to do, whether they want to sell shares or sell the whole thing, they should give adequate advance notice, like a year and a half or two, talking about this is what we plan and these are the reasons. So we collect, forget input, community input. We'll go all meetings here. So when I kind of the meeting and make una contribution, tell we why for seller, why we're not for seller, we'll go tell we why one seller. But they have not even done that. You can see the corrupt intent. And all this doesn't help the country. So I don't know where the president is getting all the young corrupt guys there. I mean, is this all they've learned about government? About, government not just the place where for come and just work out deals them that are not even benefiting Sierra Leoneans? If we're serious about making, for those of you who listened to we broadcast last week, was it not last week that we get the Ghanaian blogger who was talking about his disappointment in Sierra Leone, how Sierra Leoneans do not own any major business in Sierra Leone, such as this kind of business we would talk about. So where's the national pride? Totally lacking. Who are these guys? They don't seem to care. No interest of the country. Okay, so these are the things that women are not seem to understand. Now, then there's a generational gap. The Speaker of the House, probably older than me, a big boy. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, Abbas Bundu is an old guy. He's an older guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you would think this is a man with a degree from Cambridge, PhD. I have to go after these PhD guys because they've done nothing for the country. They just kind of throw them academic qualification around, which doesn't mean much to people like we. You got to show what your PhD mean, what you can do with them. But this man went to one of the most renowned universities in the country. What has he done over the years? Somebody need to tell me what in Abbas Bundu do. And when I tell him something like this, instead of him acting appalled, he just in a calm, calculated way say, okay, I'll go look into it, as if he doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
People are not that stupid. They know, he knows. They know he's part of the deal. This is the generational thing. So yeah, you have a young man like Tawa Conte, young, probably young enough to be the grandson, the grandchild of Abbas Bundu. I'm almost certain. Abbas Bundu is old enough to be this young man in Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
And he is leading the way for teach the old man what nationalism, transparency, good governance is all about. So, for example, all this lofty thing about a nomination process, these guys are kidding. You know, they don't do background checks. When these people are nominated by the president and sent to Parliament for confirmation, they all have, most of them have questionable backgrounds. None of that is, no background investigation is done. Parliament should have appropriation for all of that. Parliament should have their own legal department to look into matters of the law. They don't have any such things. So these guys are just posturing. Parliament, but they are not doing what the situation calls. And Dr. Abbas Bundu knows better. He knows this. These are not stupid people. And he should be the granddaddy in the room, like what a young man they talk saying at the big one at the room. Now somebody like Abbas Bundu for the talk that because he will be so literally true, because he's big daddy in age, probably in education, but no correct example is being set. You know, with respect to Ben Kalfala in comments, he may not be out of order where he say when I hold off, don't get too excited. The only trouble is if Sierra Leone is really serious about making the anti-corruption commission effective, they should change the way these commissioners are appointed. These guys should be given a set term, which is off term of the president in power. So, and he should not be fired unless for cause where Parliament for get involved in the firing of the anti-corruption person. Unless we get a situation like that. But as long as Sierra Leone keeps having the president having the power to sack a judge, to sack a chief justice, to sack an anti-corruption commissioner, they will never go anywhere, because these are the cesspool for corruption. The president, the rules or the law should be such that the president don't forget the ability for fire the anti-corruption commissioner. The president don't forget the ability for fire people, the chief justice. But if the president get the power for appoint and fire, then all these guys who are not secured at their job, and some of whom, like Ben Kafala, I think is very secure, but at some point you can't be fighting the government all the time. So I don't have much problem, because he seems to be a very promising young man, and he appears to be part of the future. The only thing is, I don't know how much he's going to be able to hold the mantle with all this pressure coming from all the other side of government, putting pressure on them. But I think if the anti-corruption, the last time he appeared on our show, I asked Mr. Kafala, listen, you cannot be effective if you don't have undercover people. Then you cannot be effective if you don't have informant. You have to have informant. You have to have the undercover. You have to have the cooperation of the police, the CID. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. You're just spinning your wheel. So if the police, they do their own thing, CID not the work with you now, but for they in a position for exchange information. Where you the anti-corruption commissioner in the process, you uncover certain evidence of criminality, you should be able to pass it to the the CID, and vice versa. But so everywhere you look, there is no real seriousness, there is no commitment to law and order, to transparency, to progress. The young man, Tawa Conte, I don't know him, never heard of him until now, but those are the qualities you look for good leadership. So for those who have all them political parties there within the lead, you get a future leader in Tawa Conte. I can say that, I can boldly say that. So those are the kind of qualities we want for see people and for be president. Somebody we put national interest first, and we stand for principle, or we're not going to parliament for enrichment. Because this young man wants for gentry, he would just be part of the crowd. And shame on the speaker for being so hypocritical and the talk saying go look into it. He knows what's going on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we believe that no, not to many of our surprise, because we know that they run, because this Ibrahim Tawa Conte, this parliamentarian of Constitution 132 Lumley, like I said 9 months ago, that's why the people say everybody calm down. That's why Ben Kenvala make the statement, everybody calm down, because 9 months ago, Tete did not come back to we with all the accusations. He said they investigate parliament, but he did not come back to the people with the result. So that's why when this don't come out now again, you know, people then they make the comments like say, so now that make the people of Sierra Leone, they make that comment there because they not bring nothing for can show yet say that this I don't do, because say the investigation they go on, but it's been 9 months, we're not hearing nothing, we're not hearing no updates, we're not hearing anything.
Well, if I can say something very quick. So
yes, sir.
This is a classic example of why people shouldn't be carried away with all this PhD. Dr. Abbas Bundu, PhD, Cambridge, one of the best universities in the world. Put him on one side. Take this Tawa Conte. I'm sure he doesn't have a PhD. And so which one of them is a person of integrity? Don't we need more people of integrity? We don't need more PhDs in Australia. They've been nothing but excess weight in the country. We see how the Minister of Housing, the conducting himself, you know, PhD. I mean, these guys, shame on them. That's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let me take the callers, please. Caller, good evening. Good evening. What's your name? Thank you for holding. What's your name and who's the call?
Yes. Oh, this is Janet Martha Musa.
Hello, Madam Martha. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good morning. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, hello, Mr. Sheila, and happy birthday to Mr. Kutubo, even though you know they right now. We just want to talk about Parliament. and the scandal and stuff like that. And the only thing way I want to bring to the attention of everybody is that the method way we young man use, I think the nine day in place, you know, called Parliament get codes of conduct. That is to say, if Tawa Conte, Ibrahim Tawa Conte is aware of any irregularities going on within Parliament, he will write a formal letter of complaint to the commissioner. We go for investigate Parliament, and so for me, I'm thinking that yes, he has all the right to come out and say this and that and the other, but he not follow the parliamentary codes of conduct. You know, like here, 2009, there was a scandal concerning financial expenses where some of the parliamentarians they accuse them of, and some of them they sack them, some will go jail and everything. Rightly so, Mr. Shillon talks about whistleblowers, you know, undercover people. If he had those kind of people, the commissioner will get the kind of right information we need for go after certain people where they do the wrong things within Parliament. You know, I think he doesn't have this idea of having whistleblowers is missing in the system, because all money is for put something in their own pocket. But I want to take you away a little bit to KKY Kande Yumkela. When he first went into Parliament, he said, "Una increase the salary of parliamentarians them for prevent corruption." A lot of people were shouting here and there, but he understood what he was saying. You know, you don't have to be a parliamentarian to understand that they ask for money for ratify a certain document or the other. You know, he knew a lot of irregularities and they go on at that place there. That's why he was asking for a salary increase, you know. So having said that,
let me stop you there for a second. But they still increase the parliamentarian and pay, and they still continue in practice. So what does that mean? What does that
Well, it just means that we have in Parliament is one of the places within government we not forget people we lack integrity. So when Mr. Shillon said they now they vet them before they put them into bring them into even standing for the position. Therefore, don't get a committee where they vet anybody who wants to become MP in that country. Before you community they go elect you, or your constituency they go elect you. Therefore, don't vet you properly. I said the vetting process. Now you know they in place to say alone. Anybody go wake up in the morning today. Mr. Ki wake up in the morning today. I go New England. I tell me people and say now West 2. I want to be MP. As long as they get in this, get in that, they don't care what your past is. So there's a vetting process that is missing within our system. But what I am trying to say here is everything Mr. Shillon don't say. So yes, everything there in place. Because we don't see people that we feel to say they get the highest education. They should come with integrity. Integrity is lacking. And House of Parliament, now one important place on Monday. These are the lawmakers of our country. If they lack integrity, how are we to respect the laws that they make? That is so ridiculous if you come to look at it, you know. But I hope so the commissioner will go after people where they ask for money. Look where MP Geva will say, may they able for relieve them of their job or even imprison them. I hope they take all the right measures, you know, for the wrong people out of Parliament. Parliament is a place of respect. It's a place of integrity. You know, the nation, they look up to Parliament. We cannot respect laws made by rogues. Thank you for the evening.
So much. Thank you, Madam Martha. Let me take the other caller, Mr. Shillon. I will bring Martha Musa and statement back in because it talks they get a process where they go through, and this young honorable not go through the process. Now that make we'll come back to that point today. Let me take the other caller, please. Call her name, please, and who side you call from. Hello, caller. Good evening. What's your name and who side you call from, please?
This is Ali. I call from Maryland.
Yes, Mr. Ali. Go ahead, my brother. It's been a while. I didn't hear from you. Yes, I go ahead.
Yeah,
sir.
I just want for like the people that know say the parliament from the starting of this parliament, they don't fail. Forcefully, they bully everything, forget their way. So then I fail. So like maybe I expect worse than this what they want to say. I expect more corruption at that parliament than what you will see so. Because from the day one, they're not able to forget the majority. They're forced their way to the Speaker of the Parliament. What do we expect, Sierra Leoneans then? Now the worst no more forget, So I don't want to be hypocrites for this. We all for just calling names saying the Parliament is corrupt and they get for corrupt and they get for worst. Because from the day one, what's happening at the Parliament? They not get their way, they forcefully get them. They not get Speaker of the House, they forcefully get them. Now what do we expect at the Parliament? Do we expect any good? No. We're not going to expect. We wouldn't talk now like say we expect good from the Parliament. No, that will not be hypocrites. We will not be expect good. We'll be not saying that worst get for happen. And I never corrupt person because everybody want him. So I don't take no more.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bangura. Thank you. Next caller, please. Good evening, name and who's the call from?
Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Fodia, yes. Call from Freetown.
Okay, Mr. Foley, go ahead, sir. What do you get for the conversation?
I would like to thank you for this discussion we get today. First of all, somebody be talk about vetting. If we say we put vetting in place at Salone, the president not going to be president, even the speaker not going to be inside this city. Because I remember during the Jan Kaba in 10, there was a case against Away loss. We in fact they agreed to pay the states back the money they take from the state. That aside. Now, the problem of corruption at Salone, that's something for take very, very serious. When this government in Canada said they set up a commission of inquiry, some of we the young people then be happy. Because even though me, I personally vote for the APC, but I'll be happy for the commission of inquiry. In that, with more people in the thief, not all party people in the thief, or the tribe men, or the region, but they thief for themselves. So if they thief, men hold them accountable. About you can see, people who begin support them, the name they know they come. People like Honorable Alpha Khan, because support the green government now, and then not can another investigator. They make it, they go free. Right? They begin chase other people the way they support, and it's like Roma. So the thing turns to which ones? Even Mr. Ben Kevara, how they talk so. The rest saga, what he commodity? Because some big people in our parliament be involved. Honorable Dixie just then be there. Then put their name there. They end up to prosecute Alpha Timbo there. So at the end of the day, this case never go no side. So always the Honorable Tawa, they accuse the parliament being corrupt. Not true, and also just parliament. Every issue that country get serious corrupt issue. This is not the fact we all follow. If we move forward, be it APCO, NGCO, SLPPO, we all will come together and say no to corruption. Then we not begin to say, oh, the money they pay is small. Then they carry past $2,000 and they say the money is small. What of the teacher they give less than $50 per month? What do you go say? What of the policeman they get less than $50? What do you go say? Everybody, this salary is small, money not there. But then teach we all now see the small way you get, now you for manage. So pay, not for be an excuse for corruption. This is not your contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I like that comment the way we brought up from Freetown make, but we'll come back to let's take another call because I don't wait for a while. Caller, good evening. Name please and who's the call we from?
Hello, good evening. This is Matilda J. Cole, the call.
Yes, Miss Matilda. How are you, my sister? Go ahead, please.
Okay. So basically, I want to address three things we on the talk about today.
Yes, go ahead, please.
The first thing I want to address the first thing I want to address now the security. Yes. So basically, people then they ask the question why we get insecurity or why the security is not the country not stable. Would they send them people there and whatnot? The thing is that security in Salone not ever stable. And every government in, government out, they always get them guns them. Very much glad way, Lawyer Shilon bring out, something we've been happen during Chaka Stephen in days. And up till now, then did it happen. Today we all see a video of a young man where they complain bitterly about the fact that now the FLPP headquarters that one pandemic comrades then die. and no big man no show up na the begging. No big man no can tell us for begging. But waiting a go on for say we even much more thought-provoking and way for make we as Sierra Leoneans think is that it say now we not the one then where they shed we blood them. Where they throw away blood. That is the exact clear use. Where they throw away blood na gone for honor.
Wow.
So what is that supposed to say? It tells you everything right there. That the ones in power, the ones in the seats of power, they are the primary cause. Now then are the cause behind them people there. So where they do bad things in the country. Now then are the cause of instabilities. Now then they get goons them and thugs them and whatnot for cause instability just because of their own selfish gains. But like the boy go on for say, you know, God go alaki and swear una pikin den yet unborn like how we alaki and swear the other one them pikin den yet unborn. How long we go deep on that? Because we've seen the evidence. Some of us were young at certain points and now we are getting, you know, to a state of a little bit of maturity. We've seen the evidence how, you know, government in, government out, president in, president out. Look at somehow some of them begin and turn out.
Yeah.
Look at the calamity we meet some of them families them. So really, main thing about this, sometimes when we ask these questions, let us stop being hypocritical about it because we know the answers. We know where the answers lie. Make we attack them from the root and make we talk them as it is. People in power they've always have the tendency to see themselves as demigods and use less opportune people them for run the rigmarole. Now I want to move on to what happened at Parliament. And I will start with the Ben Kelfala issue. Ben Kelfala himself is not, immune to, dubious practices. Dubious practices in the sense that make we look at the way the man was elected, first of all, was nominated or was appointed as the ACC boss. Okay? That appointment came with a lot of, undue processes. I'm not going to go inside that. We all know how they appoint them, and we all know the law around appointments and whatnot for the ACC boss. Now, he as the anti-corruption person, he did a way inside Parliament where this very, Tawa Conte and Parantarali, we then get a very heated argument inside Parliament. That argument they left Parliament, it can right into AYV. What happened, instead of make them take due process, make them really investigate the matter and make them really, really see into what's going on in the open. Not to pankobably business. Instead, then call the man a call and tell and say, hey, wait, you do so no good or you embarrass the party, this, that, next time, no for they do this, now for make we can't talk inside us. And we all feel like you stated, when the Minister of Internal Affairs or whatever I call himself, waiting I name says
Lehman.
Yes, Lima. Where he threatened the man openly for doing his job. He was threatening a parliamentarian for doing his job, the job that the Sierra Leonean people elected him for do, when for represent the interest of the Sierra Leonean people. What came out of that? That was a clear situation where he, as the minister, should have been reprimanded. But instead, no, he wasn't, because what is a minister doubling as a whatever in the party? Because we don't take political parties them and don't give political parties them too much power. Now that very reason they make when I call him the man with the gift of the gab, the communication minister. Now the same very reason we make way is team up in front of a parliamentary committee for defending action, for defend waiting a right in black and white. He felt too big. He felt above parliament for defend waiting he say. Because they are used to, running rigs on us. They are used to running rigs on the Sierra Leonean people, not being accountable, just pass and so, make and so, do waiting they want to do. Obviously, it's not because he didn't do his research, Mr. Shilon. It's not because he didn't do his research. He did his research. Let me tell you, that communication minister, whatever, is a very smart man. But he came there with the intention, like he said, I am the big boy in the house, to play the big boy in the house game and to subdue and suppress. So when the subdue and suppress now work, he pulled a stunt that, thank God, out in column, Tawakonte wasn't fazed by. And I gladly make Tawakonte keep up the good work where they do, make it not be co-opted by any of them, because at the end of the day, he's there to represent the people. He knows his need. Now, when we come to Abbas Bundu pretending as if he doesn't know what's going on, let us go back to the history. We all know how Abbas Bundu was elected into being the Speaker of Parliament. Now, Abbas Bundu, you see, I pray the day that way we education system go come up and everybody go get a chance for read and understand and read the history of some of them politicians, they also then work their history, waiting and don't left behind, so then go understand the type of people then way then they deal with. Abbas Bundu is the original goat of kickbacks and blue and brown envelope. When I say original goat, people are not they call him goat, and they say the greatest of all times. That's what it means. He's one of the greatest of all times when it comes to dubiousness and brownbacks and kickbacks and brown envelope. Read the history of the man. Read the work, his work. Read his career path, and you will understand the psychology. Now, then let me get for Semek and all the line, because I go there all day to don't talk.
Thank you very much. Madam Matilda, one of the VOS presenters, she comes on with Salone issues on Fridays. When I can watch them, they get a very good show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. Shilon, the caller them. The other caller them, please hold on. Let Mr. Shilon know not go too long. What are you input on what you so far with the callers they don't say, and what we go say to the callers then, because people then they say, let us don't pretend that we don't know Parliament has been taking bribes and doing all this corrupt stuff. But it's just like, for say the for let somebody voice them out, for let them come out and say them, it is like, okay, we're not say in the process. That's why we wonder, why do they not, they not do a background check? Why appointments then just they come and pass through Parliament, boom, 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 the same day they appoint everybody, we're not going to any scrutiny or nothing. And we don't know now the reason why. Say then they take bribes and they take money on the side, and we don't hear always in the color they don't say which in you get for say to that side.
Well, I don't think there is any pretense on the part of some of we, because to me, I'm surprised. The difficulty I get with the situation back home, a good many of these guys in Parliament, with some exceptions, but a good many of them are guys educated in the West, all over the world. These are guys who supposedly went home. Not only should they know better, but they knew better. And then go under the pretense that then they go for help the country. Like I say, usually what I tell people, I say to people, anytime a Sierra Leonean where they abroad, I don't care what country, if you say I want to go back home, whether I say in the APC or SAPP, I want to go into politics right there, begin for suspect them. It's up to no good. Because if you've lived abroad for quite a while, even if you want to go home for retire and you think you want to render some assistance to the people, politics is not the way to go, because politics, as they say, is one of the most corrupt institutions in Sierra Leone. So why will anybody go home and want to mess up your integrity if you have any? So that to me is a suspect class of people. And Ms. Matilda say this Minister of Information, a smart man. Well, it all depends on what you would call smart. If not a smart man in the sense that you get academic credentials, well, so is Abbas Bundu. So it's a lot of these guys. They get book sense. But these guys are mostly people without integrity. You see, in life, with integrity, nothing else matters. Without integrity, nothing else matters. It is the key to all functioning at this world. So you can get all the degree in the world. If you stand for nothing, your education means nothing. So I don't know in what sense Ms. Matilda said this guy is a smart guy, but smart people still have to do their homework. I believe he went to Parliament, taking Parliament for granted, was not expecting this kind of confrontation. I disagree with Ms. Musa with respect to this man not follow the procedure. Well, one, we don't know that as a fact. I haven't read anywhere where they said there was certain procedure he should have followed that he failed to. All I know is that in Parliament, there comes the minister who made certain presentation, the chairman who had all the rights to question him openly. When I don't present two inconsistent conclusions to we. The president said the group or the organization to make money. You say not to make money, now your justification. You say Parliament. So which one is right? Both of them cannot be right because they are inconsistent. I'm not so sure if there is any procedure this man should, the chairman should have followed for asking any question in there. Now he got cocky. I think the other member of Parliament say he was arrogant, which is the same thing. He got cocky. He sees himself as beyond questioning. And the parliamentarians then stand in grounds, which is what they, and what is more impressive about these guys, this is not their own party.
Yeah.
And this is the
problem. That is kudos to is Ibrahim Tawa Conte. Is Ibrahim Tawa Conte going rogue by Tawain and open up? Is he going rogue? Is he going rogue against his party? Because he's doing the right thing here.
Exactly.
Say, you know, and it is just the right there, this is the moment I have to ask the question. I have to please my conscience. I have to do the right thing for the people of Sierra Leone. I therefore ask the question that is not popular. So he seemed to be standing alone from party people then.
Well, let me tell you, this guy demonstrates a fantastic quality of leadership Sierra Leone has not seen in a long time.
Right.
Because when I think the speaker tried for Muslim into submission, out of principle, they say, I'd rather resign. It comes and I resign. And what did the other people do? They followed its footsteps.
Yeah, they say they didn't take their walk now.
One of the good quality of leadership, now, how you can sway people. He swayed other parliamentarians who were there to say, well, we stand with you. Okay, so if Sierra Leone is looking for potential leadership, I still have the hope and the courage that there are still good people left in the country who are within the government who will make a difference. And I'm glad it's not people at the age of Dr. Abbas Bundu them, because these are dying breeds. All of us are. I'm in my 70s too. So we're dying breeds. But when you see the Tawa contest them, it gives you hope. It gives you good feeling that even if you were to die, you still not die with that depressive state of mind that there is no hope for the country. The country still has hope. As long as you have the Tawa Conte and the other parliamentarian who got up and said, and those who followed him and say, if you resign, we're all leaving. You know? So please, let us take comfort that the entire system is not corrupt. Out of one or two, there will come many.
Yeah, that's what we say. We have good people in both parties. We have honorable men and women in both parties. We get honorable men and women, and doing the right thing that is not popular is the right thing to do. Sometimes you have to stand up to truth. You have to say, I think that's what Tawa Conte is doing here. And it tried for, for say, because it happened in November. It happened, it was a big force, it was a big fight, and then come after the SLPP no, he's not the Secretary General. What is his position? Lois Liman, who is the Deputy Minister of Interior, come out, they say SLPP for discipline because they come out and challenge and talk them business out in the open. And we, something that because they call out, say, we get to go back into this law where we pass, say, the president, the speaker, and the vice president, not forget open check, because it is not right, and they did not like that, because I bring it to the attention of the public, and everybody gets, for cheer among for that. Let me go to other callers. Them caller, good evening. What's your name and who's you call from, please?
Because it happened in November.
Yes, caller, good evening. What's your name and who's you call from?
The SLPP.
Hello. If you turn down your set way to listen, you go cut down on the feedback, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hello, you get me? Hello.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Yes.
Yeah, now Hassan, they call from UK.
Yes, Mr. Hassan, go ahead, my brother. Go ahead. What you get for add to the conversation?
I don't really understand if Sierra Leone people elect that country, or if the politician elect that country. Because I don't see say Sierra Leone politician they elect that country. I don't see them panel. Because I not just understand how they implement corruptive measure for fight corruption. Now this I not just understand. From day one, now the government this way and say minority carries the votes. So they say majority carries the vote, then a minority carries the votes. The corruption started from day one. I not just understand how they use corruption for fight against corruption. See? Because the people they don't put in a power. Okay, you don't say that you're the best. You're a footballer. You don't at the pitch. Alright? They don't pass you the ball. Don't expect say that you know just for play on your own. People and therefore attack you. Simple as that. People, other footballers and just therefore attack you. Now they for prove and say you're a good footballer. Now they for show you skills them. Who said they attack you? Now they forget goal. For sure say you're a good footballer. But they don't hold the ball, but when they hold the ball, you say, oh, this man can attack me. I will not score this ball. I will not score this ball. If this man not for the attack me, I will not score. You're not a good footballer. Simple as that. You're not a good footballer. Now they for prove to the people and say you're a good footballer. This government here, now corruption, man. They legalize corruption in that country day. It's bad. From day one, they start. They say married with the street from the bachelor see. They know say this is sweet married. This from day one, then they implement corruption for fight corruption. How? You say power pass Salone for better. Okay, where be the campaign? Then when you get power, you can now you say power pass the first APC. Just look at it the day. Power pass the first APC. Don't say power pass Salone for better. You say power pass the first APC. It's wrong. Even like they for prove to the APC people and say, so Salone say, you good past APC. Like that we want. We want somebody where they wave the flag for we. Not a party where they can fight against we again. So then can leader than they we want in that country. For the corrupt here, they say they fight corruption. How? I don't really understand. They go to help Sierra Leone, but the country, they be enforced. I swear to me, I don't know what gets good on this night. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. I want correct myself. I don't remember waiting at the position of Lawrence Lima. Lawrence Lima is the National Publicity Secretary of SLPP. And Nain have been the one where, like 9 months ago in November, when between Tawa Ibrahim Tawa Conte and Parantarawali, the clerk of parliament, where they get that big argument, now National Publicity Secretary, and also be the Deputy Minister of Interior of Sierra Leone. So he get two positions, and instead of speaking for the country at that time, he was speaking for his party. So that's a conflict of interest right there, but that's for another day, another time. Now go to the next caller, please. I just want to put out there, National Publicity Secretary, Naina Liman for SLPP. Thank you very much. Go ahead, please. Name and who should they call me from, please, caller. Good evening. What's your name and who should they call from? Caller King, you get we?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, go
Hello?
ahead, please. Name and
Okay, my name is Julius Dengi,
yes,
and
yeah,
my
go
name is
ahead.
Leone. I call from Australia.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Just make a very quick contribution to this show. First of all, I want to start with the lawyer. And my second time this way I don't meet on the show here. So, Mr. Salone, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I don't know, I'm so full of gratitude, like you now somebody we know political. Your contributions to the political discourse. You're so neutral, and I appreciate you. And I go want, like, if we get more of you kind, where they call the spade, and speak from a very neutral perspective. I appreciate you. But I will find the time, make I just go to the point. I appreciate you, and I appreciate, may God bless you. Now, beautiful Fatima, thank you for the show. Now, when you talk about corruption, okay, Sierra Leoneans, corruption a day in way in every Sierra Leonean. Now, we just talk about corruption. Matilda Cole, we get when one of the hosts of VOS. Just imagine, we get 7.5 million Sierra Leoneans in the country. Statistically, whether that is true or not, I don't even know. In one can take over 10 minutes. They talk about things where other Sierra Leoneans and they're on the line, and it gets in your platform. That now, it don't exhibit a characteristic of corruption, okay? That's now a tendency in all Sierra Leoneans. Then we all know it, okay? But make a just shift past that. Now, parliament in corruption. The parliament corrupt. Now, what's the problem with? I make them go reach the parliament, say na second corrupt institution of the country. In fact, for me, the first. Number one, parliament don't fail for the politicians that we get there, especially the opposition politicians. They don't fail for providing formidable opposition to the SLPP government within the country. They all, whether they fear the party or the president, I don't know. Some of them, especially the NGC, don't promise this country, say they will provide a formidable opposition. That not happen. We not see them. Okay? Parliament corrupt. When they talk about corruption in the country, the parliamentarians that are representatives of the people, and they're very aware, even from their constituency level, that people corruption in the country. What in parliamentarians they don't do as representatives of the people. So my problem is not that parliament is corrupt. The problem where I get, why they rate parliament secondly for being first. Now make we go to the PhD. Sierra Leoneans by default we think in a book people that they can't carry this country go before. From the day where we Sierra Leone form government in our country, so my guy they get degree, all the other people that get degree, PhD, whatever. We say this country day today, 59 years, we still there. We say we be down there. We not go nowhere. So by default, we all the things say now book people go can carry we country go forward, but that's not happen. And not to say book people they not go make this country go before. It can happen, but it not happen yet at all. It not happen, and that's bad. You see, and then make we go to Make we go to what not the competitive politics not in our country. Competitive politics not in our country. Why we they get democracy? When we get democracy, it's about competitive politics. We political party then we then they after elections they're not useful again. If you see APC take SLPP people in the court, not for the interest of the people, them, not about policy issues. Now, because perhaps they fight for one seat in a parliament where they want for, not just between themselves, not for the interest of the people. So there is no competitive politics in the country. Now, the opposition parties then therefore able to prove to the citizens or the representatives, the constituencies that they're worthy of the people that vote, or they're capable of good governance when come election, that if they vote them into office, they're able to do something. But that's not happen. So corruption, they everywhere. And make a give one story. One Salone posse will go meet in the University of Ghana. That's when they mean the student union president for yesterday. This man can study masters. They make party all week. This Leone pious will go study ordinary masters then go, they say, make we go serve we self. We go with lecturer, then they serve the food. We all team up in a line by order, respect. Nobody, no pass nobody. This man said because it is study masters, why make we for go to line with undergraduate there for go eat food? That's why leading there, no. That's why leading. It make us shame, everybody shame. That's why we desert the table, left and sit down there. Now they can practices corruption. Where Salone post you don't get power pass you, it a demonstrator. Like what did Matilda do so? I
don't give you like 3 balls an hour. That is 9 minutes or whatever. I don't know. But I don't give you when I call Baba for apologize on behalf of VOS. It was not intentional. The balls are not being go off and whatever. But I don't give you 3 sessions of balls, so you don't equal to my team.
I know.
So I don't make you feel equal.
Like, if
and
we talk about corruption,
I
we stick to the
say
things. I
apologize to you. Very, very sorry. And to the callers, so you don't get the fair equal chance now, but then the other one them therefore get the same equal chance. So we all know.
All right, thank you very much.
So I'm sorry. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'll give you the 3 bullets go off. Yes,
that's okay.
Thank you.
That's okay.
And what
Thank
you say your name again?
Thank you, Dr. Shilon. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. So now at least you're happy. You laughing. We laughing. We all laughing. Sometimes we are not aware of what you would do. The balls are sometimes not can go. We just left the people that go. But very, very sorry.
No,
let's go to the other caller, please. Caller, good evening. What's your name and who side they call from, please? Hello, caller. What's your name? Who side they call from? Hello, caller. What's your name, please? And who side they call we from?
Yes, good evening, Miss Fadima.
Oh, wow. I know the voice. Go ahead. I won't say your name. You're going to say it for the people to hear, Miss Bendu. It's been a while. I didn't hear you. Yeah, go ahead, my darling. You okay?
I know they feel well, but when you see a grapple address this situation today, they die in people in country, but we voice them. If they tape the yard for I don't know how long, then go no say we say something.
Yeah.
What me want for Mr. Benkefala understand. Then teacher the way bingo this grace. Not today for begin. So what would they say? The people they not understand, they not know, they not when they do the report, they not say the parliament are one of the most corrupt places. But what to make Mr. Benkefala not the beginner parliament? No, we act on that word day. I don't mean for disrespect anybody, but this way they go on. Also today it begin. It not new. It not new. From the president, say they, so they're always they can't on they know. So when would they talk, say the institutions, they're all rotten, they're all corrosive, they're all bad, they're politicians and then are business people, they way come for rob the country and rob the people them of their livelihood. All the other African countries, the way they do well, trust me, they not be that way. They not be that way. But for some of we, now road we there we they go. So we picking them what we don't born, what would they cook them for things they what make would they come na them podium there would they talk. Now for we feel say changes go happen, when we picking them go get the chance for say na yanda mi mama come on, na yanda mi papa come on, la I go see what they go, la I go contribute say. Now then dream them then they kill.
Yeah.
But what me go get for say the bad way they do today, we all get for suffer one way or the other. Then time go come and then time go done. Now that's not what me get for say.
Thank you, Madam Dendo, my sister. I hope you feel better. Take care of yourself. And always believe, say, God say with long life, He will satisfy you and you will live long and see the change where we all want before we all die. Go, not go die yet. We get long life first. God bless you, my sister. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next caller, please. Good evening, caller. Name and who side they call from?
Okay. Yeah. Mina Fode from London.
Yes, Mr. Fode, go ahead, my brother.
The reason why we parliamentarians fail now we country is because most of them parliamentarians are hand-picked people where the political leader they pick, not to the people and demo. Now the political leader, so obviously they not have the interest of citizens. Now the interest of party and party wouldn't they represent, and the interest of the leaders. These are yes men that go to parliament for go endorse within the party they in favor of, and within the leaders they want. Most of them now people away don't get any integrity or caliber for do within them go to parliament for. But at the end of the day, now the state, now the citizens lose. They know they represent this citizen. Now political interest and party interest, and they go represent until we abandon them practice, and then before we go see credible and progressive politics that our country day. Go now any constituency na Salone. The MPs there are now the leader of the political party. Now in they pick them, and some of them they pay money.
Yeah.
We get colleagues where they abroad now the diaspora. We don't feel now the part of the world they are. Then they go pay money. Then they take loan, go pay money. For no more than go be representatives in our parliament. So now that contribution they make.
Thank you so much, Mr. Foley. Mr. Foley make a big point here. We say not for the people that they pick them parliamentarian, yeah. He say now the party they pick them, so they're loyal to the party more than to the people because it's about money. Who that get the big money, now you go give symbol for go represent the people. The people then some don't know them people yourself where they come for county map, but because they get money, because they get opportunities, so there's no integrity, there's no connection to the people, there's no loyalty to the people. The loyalty not to the people, then the party will give them symbol for let them continue for be parliamentarian. Not to then the loyalty there is not to the people. The integrity therefore is not there because the connection is not there. And that's a good one where we brought up from London, Mr. Foley make. And what do you think, Mr. Shillon, and what all the other one, the way they plus this particular one, because it make a very good point, say not the money they go give for let them become parliamentarians. They're not chosen by the people. They go no more, they get two choice, then they go campaign later, but not to the people really, they pick them. In the primary process, they not they pick not to the people, they pick them, not the politician, and the heads of the parties, then they pick them, order them please forgive.
Well, this is a classic example of few times I just suggest, say, we need for try some pilot programs. This nomination process, instead of leaving the nomination process in the hands of the elders of the party, they could do what you call open nomination. Let everybody run. When they run, the person will get the most votes, or the top 5, they run against each other. Whoever wins, wins. Then the people then go elect them, not to the elders. But as long as we get this old system, whereby a symbol is being given to a potential candidate, the corruption will continue. Now, there is nothing we say in we own politics or we own democracy. We have to practice democracy the way we learn from the British. There is what you call a primary system. Primary opens the door for everybody. Then when I run, if you want to run as in America, if you want to run as a Democrat or Republican or as independent, you run. If you're a Republican, then get the basic rules, say, okay, the first top 5 run against each other after the general election. Then after that, whoever wins represents and get a party symbol. You're not going to pay anybody for give you the symbol. This is somebody who's running elected by the potential party supporters them. But if we now for change, that also demonstrates how unwilling we are for make progress, because this is not the era of progressive changes. Either we'll stay the way where we are, for the past 60 years, because we're almost 60 years in independence. We cannot show any substantive gain but we can show substantive losses. Almost everything we acquire since independence, we've lost all. We've gained little or nothing. So do we want to do another 60 years this way, where we don't improve the judicial system, we don't want to improve the political system, we don't have to improve anything, not just people and for just come in, line their pocket up and go. Nobody's rendering service to the country, because you've seen the young ministers there now, like I compare the member of parliament, Mr. Conte, to Abbas Bundu, but even to the existing minister of information, to the age of Abbas Bundu. So what are we doing generationally? Aren't we continuing to destroy the country? We take over from independence from the white man. We not add to what in the white man left Giwi. We subtract. We almost deplete everything when a reminder of progress with which man left Giwi, from airlines, Sierra Leone Airways, Sierra Leone Railway, you name it. The Sierra Leone Produce Marketing Board. You can go on and on and on.
We had all those. We had
all these things we had. Mm-hmm. A lot of department store, the PZ, the USC, the SUA, the GBO, the Agenet,
Kingsway.
The Kingsway. All Bata, all then. These were all
USC Motors.
And these were major employers.
Yes.
Where they employ people and give people a future, like retirement and everything. All of these things are gone. 60 years of independence. And then we get the current leadership. They are not interested in none of that. All they care about is lining them pocket. I hope the people there understand say, listen, I get a challenge for anybody, whether you're APC, but before I go there, Mr. Julius and Benji will call from I think Australia, and I call from. Yeah. The thing we made a try for tell people, what people need to understand. Let me ask this. If you know of anybody, whether grab na money, if feeding Peking, SAPP or APC, I like for no. If you know of anybody weighing where for Peking sick, he go pay the doctor by say, oh, me APC, SAPP, I like for no. I mean, if you know of anybody where they put petrol in motoka, because APC or SAPP, I would like to know. None of these things matter. Not just posturing. What really matters is what it takes. So this party affiliation, the tribal affiliation, it does no good to anybody. At the end of the day, now whether they put food on your table and guarantee your future and you begin a future. So this is what people have to take into account. So when you get up in the morning, ask yourself the question, me an APC supporter, yeah. Now, I can go to the grocery store and get my APC card. I can get all the food I need. If the answer is no, then downplay party membership. Same thing with SAPP. If you can go to any store, you just present your SAPP membership, then we'll give you all the food where you need. Then we'll give, even if you want job, that's your membership they will give you. Then you can do something. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. So my advice to people them, I want to watch them politicians here, because a lot of these guys, they are very disappointed, very, very disappointed. They're not to take any good ideas home. They're not to even implement any good ideas. When you get a minister, send a cabinet, I don't even understand that procedure there. When I want to sell a major company belonging to the government, now just parliament no more meet, not just cabinet meet and decide say it should be sold. How? Shouldn't parliament have a say-so, even though the parliament not quite representative of the people? Shouldn't the people be able to go to court and stop short a sale? Where is the judiciary? They need a common cause law firms then in the country if they don't have any. We all get a role. We in America would play a winning role. The one that they win a lawyers, win a this and that, they should be doing what it takes. Because at the end of the day, if the system, even if you're not a lawyer, you make all the money in the world. Not just a handful of money will benefit. By the time you get to you and Peking and Grand Peking them, there will be nothing left for them. So even without a lawyer, they wouldn't Australia would make them big now. You should not be selfish and so short-sighted as to think there is nothing wrong with the system. The system is terrible. So now with all responsibility, if people like me, I have lived in the United States for 50 years, 50. If I have this level of passion for Sierra Leone in well-being, give me a break. I can't see anybody where live there who cannot and try to be more passionate than I am. So this is what I got to tell you.
You've tried to help many times, not that just sit on America. So let's get that straight, because some people will say, "Oh, just sit on America and they do nothing." But that's not true. So let's get that straight and let's clear that for people that will come out with that kind of stuff. So
that's true. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And you make a point there, say they want to sell out, they want a partnership, or they want to sell part of the company where belong to Sierra Leone. And we did a show last week where what's in her name, the blogger Maya, they talk on it's sad because I don't see nothing Sierra Leone. And you talk of all them company the way you call it. So my grandfather had shares, a USC Motors, he gets shares some other company them where they work for, and them they give you part of for let you buy shares, for let you be part of the stuff. And he inherit, my mama inherits that shares there, and my mama every year she gets money from this company. It still gets shares. It still gets dividend from the company that was long time ago. We've been there a Freetown, because my grandpa been get shares. Different companies then they allow you for buy shares, and my mother still gets that shares from those companies that my grandpapa been buy into shares because he worked for them. So when you talk of that, they can sell shares to us Sierra Leoneans, so we can be part of the thing. It will belong to Sierra Leone, because that communication business day, this is where our nation, for security reason, this is where our nation do all in communication, even to the president in information or whatever, although we're not the superpower yet where we're supposed to be. But in security reason, with telecommunication business, especially the one, yes, you get other competition then, but especially the one where for deal with the country, if for deal within the people and the Sierra Leoneans. And Sierra Leoneans, they can open that option there, let we buy shares into the company, just like you said, sir, then go get into Witsman them or different company them, or whether Indian, Chinese, or whatever, when they go take them tomorrow, they're not going to develop with country, but they go take them for go develop on their own country. And that is the thing that has been happening for the longest time, that the companies, they now, the deals, they now where we governments, they don't make, they benefit the people of Sierra Leone. They're taking the things that they get from us. They're not employed with people because we don't have no skills. Our people don't have no skills. Like how we say, let me get trade, how they call this, trade schools. They have trade schools when they're certified plumber, certified mechanic. So when those people come with their investment, when they come with the things, they're able to hire certified plumber, they're able to hire, but if they don't have it in the country, they're going to bring their own people because they want certified, they want bill to standards. So these are the things with governments, therefore they look and see. When we get National Trade Center or National Trade Center, with them, they want that we not go better school, we're not able for go the ABC school, when they're not able too much, then go to them trade center, they go land trade. So they'll be able to support themselves and with all these things, then with people that know they see. And the question I want to ask you too, sir, is this. Do you think, or I want to ask the audience, and I can't take a call again, but I want to ask, is Tawa County, because like we brothers say, we talk on, na Gideon the symbol. So because they don't go there, we don't want them before, the National Publicity Secretary, we don't openly warn them and say that for discipline them because it go against and it go after another SLPP member on national TV. Now it don't do this again and at this committee. Do you think they will get a symbol back? Do you think it will get a symbol for he run? Is that thing? Because these are the things we get for ask ourselves, because the party then get too much power into these giving symbols to people then for able run, for able serve the country, because we will lose people like this that stand up to them. We will lose people like the Ibrahim Tawa contest. We will lose people like those. So, let we go to the caller, then they think on that, ponder on that, sir. And then I will come back to you. Let we take a few more calls. I think we don't go the 2 hour, we don't go the 2 hour thing. Let we go take a few more calls and then we'll end them for today. Caller, good evening. What's your name, please, and who side they call me from? Hello, caller, what's your name, please, and who side they call me from? Okay, we will take one more call. We don't go over the 2 hour mark. We have reached the 2 hour mark, so we don't want to make it too long. And so let me take one or two more callers, and then that's it for today. Maybe one. Let's see. Caller, good evening. Name, please, and who side they call from? Hello, caller. Good evening. Good morning. Hello. Good afternoon. Wherever you're in the world, who side they call we from? What's your name, please?
Hello.
Last caller, go ahead, sir. What's your name and who side you go from? You will be the last caller. We will be the last caller because we don't go over 2 hours. We don't want to go too much far. We will be the last caller. Go ahead, caller. What's your name and who side they call we from? Yes, caller. Okay, we lost the caller. And then that's it for today. But if he call back, if that caller they call back, we will take him more. If not, that is it for today. We're not to take on that person again. Let we just go. Let we wrap up today. We don't do well. We don't try. People and the conversation is going on they engage on ourselves there on the Facebook page. That's what democracy is. Everybody they speak respectfully. We agree to disagree. We try for make, and the goal is to meet in the middle for try for do what is best for where majority of the people them go benefit. Now that we want middle class for come back. We want people them, and at the end of the show we go play a video of a housing a model where a chief they talk about. And this is not something where they don't do for Sierra Leone, where some company overseas been come, where they can show this model here, and this chief they advocate for that. And then they go solve a lot of the problem. We go come with another show where we'll go talk on, then really problem because free tongue inside the city congest. Nobody no one go back. The slum areas are overcrowded. The crime they boku. It's not there for it. People them all man vex, all man waiting and call self, all man. It's just like by God's grace, the life expectancy in our country, 50-something years, middle age, where you for there 54 years, I think for female and 52 for male or something. But it's about that range, 55 at least. The expectancy rate of people, the average people and they die, young people and they die because the healthcare system they say corrupt. The school where for give good education they say corrupt. This government come with new direction. They say education for all, free education. They work on them, but 30 days, not all what I hate because the system deep. Boku that side the low left of us. But all that thing and then they happen. The police then corrupt, the hospital corrupt, healthcare not there. The presidents don't go 2 weeks now. We don't know side there. They say go on a mission, a personal mission. They don't MIA now because in the military we say MIA, missing in action. We don't know. Is the vice president the acting president? Nobody know to tell we nothing. Sierra Leone just there. We don't see parliament. Then they fetch themselves now, then they talk themselves. Some people don't have the courage for stand up to truth and hold to integrity, say, we get for do right by the people. And Honorable Tawa, is he going rogue? That is the question. Is he going rogue? Is he going against the stuff of his party, the rules of his party for try for put Salone first? Is that what he's doing? Or he just the do him because of his own, what they call ambition? But in any way, people in the praise him say, now Amy don't blow the whistle, trade back, where he talk on the money where they want to give the president. We don't hear the president, the government corrupt, the president corrupt, the thing. And this not to today begin. And we they talk and we they talk and we they talk corruption, and that the corruption don't make all signers Salone broke. The institution, they all rotten. They're not, they work right. The hospital, then a death chamber. We show a video last week where one man, they talk how in person go there, how in person go die now what's in the hospitals are death chambers. Yes, now God get life. Yes, people in the house out there. But guess what in and they say? We did everything we could. We did the best we could because they have everything that is there for use, for try for resuscitate life. With people and not sabi how for do CPR self, the nurse themselves not sabi do CPR. Because CPR, every Sierra Leonean for able for know how for do, how for get the idea, how for do CPR. When they see accidents and they happen, ambulance never because if the ambulance can safe na empty, people then they team up, nobody don't know what thing for do. Nobody don't know, no information, nobody don't know what thing for do. You know, people that go watch, oh, yeah, I don't get accident. Stop the bleeding. Go waiting and go put pressure on the bleeding. If somebody they bleed, for try for do that. They don't know all that stuff. You know, they don't get all that knowledge there. The people don't have the knowledge. That's why we dying. You know, no preventive medicine, nothing good no day. You know, it is sad. Where we they talk that because we don't use some, we believe goodness alone pass some of we out we live now in the country here. That is the fact, that is the truth. But we will not get back that Sierra Leone. But we want better. We want better. We for grow. Every year we for grow. Every administration will for do something where sustainable for the people, the lives of the people. Like I said, my grandfather in shares from USC Motors and the other company there, they used to have companies. Some people still, they collect shares. We're still getting that money. This year, the shares go down a little bit because of coronavirus. They write the letter, then tell them, my mother receiving shares, and say, oh, because of this and this and this, then they not happen. But whatever interest they make, so if them thing and then a continuous way go pass on to generation, they all them thing and they we get for bring and come for lay with Sierra Leone and get involved into Sierra Leone. And to Dr. Jones in family, we die of corona and a free tongue. Corona is real. Now a neurology surgeon where you know it on day na Gambia, it go na Gambia in Pepashakin time because of all this rubbish where they do. You know Gambia honor Sierra Leone self they love him because it can Sierra Leone it can do but not be there full time na Sierra Leone. May soul rest in peace. Coronavirus is real. And this na a gathering where they go where a whole bunch of big man them big people then at the country been there big stuff them there. Some man don't begin cough now. Some man they shows they don't get the symptom, they're still positive of the coronavirus. We careful take coronavirus serious. We poor people there, we don't want to go spread them until me go spread until you, me spread until you. So when you wear the mask, you wear the mask for me, I wear the mask for you. But to Mr. Jones, and may his soul rest in peace, and we thank him for the service to Sierra Leone and to Gambia, our neighboring country, our neighboring sister country. We say, you know, God may his soul rest in peace, and condolences to his family. So I don't get anything else for talk night now, but like I say always, I will make Mr. Shilo and you and a last word. I love you all, and God is love. Go beyond beautiful, go beyond you. If I shine today, not jealous me, go work on yourself. You work on yourself, tomorrow the sun will shine over you, the cloud go there over me. It's a turn, it's a matter of time. You work hard, you get result. Let we search ourselves, what kind of country do we want? And the people there where they then they suffer. But because they don't have voice to speak for themselves, we create this platform here where every Sierra Leone voice could be heard. And we make sure say the authorities are listening to our programs. They get it, they send it, with whatever, then they listen to them. And sometimes we can say they can take action, sometimes they don't care. But we can still continue for talk. We they talk for what they call it, God bless we all, let God bless we country, let God bless we leader them, and we president, like when they say, sick, let God give medicine. But in need for calm, or the people there, whether they pay money, need for calm, for let them say, we say, where the hell in the world is President Bill? He is MIA, we don't know, we can't account for him. He's a president, he belongs to us for till 2023. He's a president, and we want to know, or is Jules Jallo acting as vice president? We don't know. Or is he still running Sierra Leone from wherever in the world he is? We don't know. So till next week, I love you all. Remember, God is love. Go do kind words. Go say kind words to people. Go light your world. Go light somebody in light. Go give hope. And I love you. Till next week, I salute you. Fedima, I'm out. Good night. Mr. Shilon, sir, take over.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. Well, just briefly, you be asked if whether Tawa Conte, if they will get the symbol again. But I think the system here that still permits, if you don't get symbol, you can still run as an independent. I think now he's popular enough, regardless of who that gets symbol, APC or SLPP, if they not get him, he's still capable of winning. But I think if you know even win, that is not the end of the world. That just show how determined people are for corruption. Because if the people are Norwegian and Japan, the ordinary people, therefore realize how powerful the vote is. If this man run as an independent, I think then still can vote him in. We get precedent for that in Australia. In 1967, was Sir Albert, actually in 66, but the 67 election, was Sir Albert and some other brothers them fall out, Kaisamba, Elian Birua, inaugurated the SLPP symbol. They run as independent and win, and they end up owning the balance of power, will bring APC in power. So there is precedent for that. So I will hope he stay at the cause that is highly regarded, and I hope we'll continue to have more people that will take courage from instance where they don't take, you know. And so there's always a lot to say, but I thank everybody for listening. Please tune in next week. Well, if you get anything for contribute, call in or send in video at times. We'll go view them and see if it is important. We'll go comment on them. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Have a good evening, all of you.
Thank you. So now we play the video of the housing, and yeah, we end up with Dande. The other time we'll play the other video. They just put the housing, this very, 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 very good system.
Computer.
Yeah.
My name na Andrew Kondo. Me na the chief of Destiny Village. If you can see, Destiny Village na a village where we get a British man by the name of Nigel Hyde. He decided in 2014 for let it solve some of the problems we're going to this country. Where one of them now housing. So he come, but he own dream now for let it just pull people and come on at the slums and give them a better life. So if you can see, these are the houses them where the organization don't build, and as we now we get up to 200 people in this village. Now, one of the things where I want to talk about now the problems where people they face. Now, every other day, people they come at this village, especially people where they work for government, where now the policeman them, you know, fire force people them, and soldier man them. Then they come, they want for benefit and get then houses there for them and their family. But that's not the dream of Nigel Hyde. Nigel Hyde in dream now for poor people and come on a slum and give them a better life. Now, the reason why they go live and the reason why I want for talk to the people of this country, especially the president of Sierra Leone right now. The reason why people they die early now this country now because they think say after I don't retire, who say I go lay me head me and my family. After I don't retire, what thing will become of me? Who say I go day? So as a result of that, one day people they stress, even the corruption now. Somebody say, okay, let rush, let make money for myself so that tomorrow I go for bill house for myself. Who say I go day? Where work left me or where I retire? I they beg the government. The government can work with Home Leone, because if you can see now, these are one of the new houses where they build right now, where they use the local material. If you see this closely, them block here where they show, we know they put cement in between them. Yeah, hydrophone bricks. You can add some, you see them, you lay them back. Now so we they take for build then houses here. And this new one where you they see so now each apartment are 2-bedroom apartments. Each one. This na the veranda this. And then I think it go dark small, but when I go see, you can at the parlor. Okay, and then you see the rooms them, 2 rooms apartment. And this one enough for a very small family. And inside this block, we get 8 apartments in each of the block them. This are the back. If government begin work with people, the more they work for the government. Let's say every month, then cut small thing by your money, then reserve them. You identify the place where you want you also be. For instance, if you come out Kenima, you come out Tongo Field, you know, or of course Nademi grow up Tongo Field, come on a root tile. If you say Nade you there, I want the government go build land and they God don't bless this country with not enough land. Government go able for go building houses here for people there, especially the police and the soldier. So when they retire, then get signed for go. Every day, then people here they come here, hey, I they retire in 2 years, I they retire in this, I want a home. But that's not the dream of the one that will build this village. Let the government please help. We are blessed in this nation with land. All the government need for do, okay, now make like a small policy, people want for join. Say, we go able every month you pull this money come on a salary with a keep them. Now we they use for build this house and you go pay small. I tell you say people then go work with Alafia. Somebody go work, you know, say what it don't in work where don't retire, and they get a home for in family. But if this not happen, people become frustrated, people don't know what you for do, some now go involved in corruption and all. So as you see, this are one of the villas them where it's already occupied by people already. They live happily, they quiet, they don't plant, then garden them. You see? So if government they do this for them military people or policemen them, it will really help this country. We get the land. Unless the government say, "Me provide land." If you get land, can register for this scheme. Where they go build for you and you go pay small. It will really help the people them in this country. As you see now, this is one of the villas. People then they live with their family happily. You see, nobody know they harass them. The place not dirty, the place clean. So if government buy this idea, please, His Excellency, you can come and look at this model and then see how to replicate this in other district headquarter towns them for help the one them where they work. Where tomorrow where they left then work, then go get side for day with their family. And it will even ease corruption. Because what in the post they rush for? The post go say no. At the end of the day, I go forget who's at the day with my family. That small pension now where they collect, I go to buy in Gary and yes, small. Tony die peacefully and left you picking and at home. But if that not a be at all, you will find that you will find it very difficult for them to work with ease. Now thief, it will begin thief. So that at least instead go buy land and billows. And I believe if this kind of thing they happen, even the one the way they live, then dangerous side them, then go come there. So this night appeal, when me they make to this government, please, wanna come and help the people of Sierra Leone, most especially with soldier man them and with policeman them, or government will command them. Every day the nurses they come, the police they come, the fire force, then they come every day for men to get the house, but not to the policy, not to for them kind middle class people. Why we build there? Now for people who they live in the slum. So this now the message this, please, and this now home Leone. If the government gets interest, we can come, we sit down together and work on this model and see how we're going to help we brother and sister in this country. So at least if this one happen for we brother and sister them, I believe say corruption will reduce more. Because if you say that man will keep in salary, say when you retire, use that salary there for go buy land or bills, it's not go possible. So you got for thief, you got for plan for thief, and then so that you go use that money there for bill, host for himself and his family. Please, Mr. President, This not something this way we want let you replicate, sir. We want let you come and see this model and see how we're able for Karangona other district headquarter towns and help people them. But tomorrow they will come off future and go to them place and as people they move, let's say they develop the side where they come out, then this could really help Sierra Leone. So these are the message. If anybody will hear this, be able to pass them to the president and so that it will happen. People will be really happy and people go so much appreciate the government.